Recording. Alright, this is the... Wait, zoom out. This is the Destiny. Alright, let's introduce everyone. It's me. We got Blue... Yeah, it's Blue.
You fucked it up.
Yeah, I did. We got Ginger.
Oh no.
We got
Oh.
Zimp, and we have our guest NoGood, who I've known for a while. We haven't actually played with that much, so it's gonna be fun to talk about. But what is this? This is a Destiny Underground podcast. I had an epiphany while I was driving home from leave the other few weeks ago, and I was like, I want to make a podcast. So I posted in the clan chat, and Ginger, Zimp, and Blue messaged me about it, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And I reached out to NoGood, and I was like, do you want to do it? And he's like, if I'm free, and he is free. So, you know me. I'm Colt. I'm the Solo Argos guy, the Pokey Simp.
26-time Solo Argos champion.
It's a little bit more than that if you factor in the recovs. Me and Zoop did the math, I think, and we
have
something...
we have to cut that out.
Yeah, we bleep that, dude. Bungie's gonna be like, hell no, man.
No, but me and Boop did the math, and I think we were counted for like 25% of the solos or some shit.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
He
Yeah.
did the
In
math
total.
for me. I think he messaged me. I'm gonna have to like double check with him after the podcast, but he said it was like him and I were like 25% of the solo. So
In total, I believe there were only around 750 completions.
Jesus, I know I did a lot. I made over 2K
Yeah.
from the recovs. So
Gee.
2 racks.
Wow.
yeah, funny story about that. One guy paid me $220, and what he did was he had me record it for him, and then he uploaded the video to YouTube. He added Chevy, and he said, I did this. He added Chevy, and Chevy said, good job, and tweeted it.
Aussie Halo moment.
Oh no.
The guy is still out and about. He's going.
Dude, good for him. Bless him, man.
Chevy
Yeah.
retweeted it, bro. I mean, he got what
Bless
he
his
wanted.
heart.
Yeah. he did pay for it after all.
All
He
right.
paid for a
Yeah,
recov.
So, what about Ginger? What do you introduce
Uh,
yourself, brother?
I'm Ginger, and I am the unofficial speedrun world record holder for Moon Patrols. Absolute gamer.
What about garden farming, dude? What the fuck?
I don't farm.
We don't do that
garden.
here.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's,
garden
it's
farmer.
forbidden.
Yeah.
Is that all you have to say, Mr. Ginger?
I mean, I got a cat. Yeah.
Is it a big cat?
Nah.
What kind of cat? You have to elaborate.
Nah, she's a cat, innit? Like she's a little bitch, really.
In it?
Yeah. They call the Brovland talk. Yeah, no, I've got a cat. She yeah.
All right, Blue.
Alright.
Anything else?
Alright.
How about you? Blue?
Okay, I'm Blue. I'm another member of Clan Graphic alongside Ginger, Colt, and Zemp. According to my Twitter bio, I'm a retired Destiny 2 speedrunner, so I have a massively overinflated ego for no reason.
and now you're just a 4-time sim.
Basically, yeah,
I mean,
I can admit that.
yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, I hang out a lot in streams, and I'm just waiting for Witch Queen. That's about it.
For your own queen.
No, not really.
Savathon, probably. It's gonna be thick.
Plundering the Savathosy in 4 weeks.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
Savathon could probably suck a hot dog through a tailpipe, dude. I'm just saying.
Aren't most tailpipes thicker, or like,
Yeah.
don't they have a wider circumference
So it's
than
a
most
lot
hot,
of suction
than most
that would
glizzies?
require, yeah. Wait, oh no, it would just slip right through. Wait, no, what if the tailpipe is on an even level, so it's not sliding down?
So it's a
Yeah, but
straw.
you've got to realize you've got to suck out all of the negative pressure from inside the tailpipe as well going into the engine. Like that's a lot.
Well, her
I
engine's
think you're
the
going
mouth,
too
bro.
deep into this.
We're over.
is like
This is
some
the
big
wrong
brain shit.
topic.
Like, y'all are getting into this, bro.
And I do have the current podcast thing. It's Migasa's face, so I don't think anyone can
Yes.
hate that. All right, Zimp.
I am Zemp. I am Clan Graphics' most controversial member. I'm a crackhead completionist. I love Destiny way too much, so it's basically what I do. And I get into drama a lot, which is bad.
Number 2 most controversial after Defy left.
Wait, Zimp,
Oh,
I
yeah,
forget.
yeah.
Were you in Rough with me back that day, or was that someone else?
No,
that was
no.
someone else. Yeah.
I've been in a lot of small time clans, but this is the biggest one I've
The
joined.
big clan I was in before Graphic was Euros. I was in just Reddit for a time, but Euros was like my main thing from year 1 Destiny all the way up until like year 1 of Destiny 2.
I used to run a really toxic clan back in the day called Zealously. It was back in Arrivals. It was a bunch of shitters that basically thought they were a lot better than what they actually were. But
We get a
I
25
love
on
those
Graph.
guys. Dude, we're just I can't even explain the ego that went down there, but I love those guys. I still talk to a few of them to this day. Shout out 9.
Nice.
All right, so NoGood has the most to talk about here. I feel like because he isn't. I mean, he knows us obviously, or we know of him through mutuals, but like, you know, he's the
Omnipotent.
guest. So talk about yourself, NoGood, your clan, everything.
Well, I actually have 2 clans. So
My bad.
I have
One at a
I
time.
have 2 Throw-One Chalice, which is a Sherpa D1 clan for like people that just hate D2. They don't play anything other than D1. Well, nowadays they kind of just D1's kind of dead, so yeah. And then D2 I'm in Euros, which is a challenge speedrunning clan. I do
Good job,
D1 speeds, raid mostly, a few strikes here and there. Then I do D2 ILs, which are missions and strikes and
Nice.
challenges and stuff.
I've been seeing you do a lot of 4-man Kings Fall speedruns lately.
Yes, Foreman Kingsfall is my favorite raid to do. It's
That sounds
just,
fun.
How have those been
It's-
going? I've been seeing it here and there, and I've seen a few fails that seem like they suck.
Yes and no. It's we see the potential and we're going for it. It's really annoying at times, but it's mostly fun. It's a good time. Just fixing some things.
Alright, so I think we got the introductions over. Unless there's anything else anyone else wants to add, is there?
No.
I don't
Alrighty,
think so.
we're gonna go off the list. I think we're gonna go do step 2 and 3 topics, and after that, we are going to run through the actual Discord list. So do you want to do the Discord list first, because it adjusts some of the stuff that you guys want to talk about importantly, so it's early on.
I think some of them overlap, so it'll be okay.
Alright, fuck it.
Mhm.
Are we talking about the hamburger topic right now? This
Oh,
is kind of
boy.
old, though. This is really old.
Old, as in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know, but
And
Destiny
Twitter, it's
drama, this is
irrelevant.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
this
community
is
has
a year.
the collective memory capacity of a goldfish.
Most of it's on Twitter, so it's kind of as expected. So,
Yeah.
So you want to know, like, was it just he teabagged No, he got teabagged, and he said fucking whatever that clan was hated him, some shit like
And
that?
by
Yeah.
he, we mean Amaze, who's a
Yeah.
Twitch partner, Destiny streamer, and the people who've teabagged him are members of Clan Garrison, who are another challenge clan, high-end PvE content.
yeah.
Funny
So
thing
just
about
for the
that,
context of the situation.
I just remembered Mactix, which is the leader of Garrison. He just tweeted out, he was so confused. Like, he tweeted out the video. He's basically saying, we are not racist, we are not homophobic. He just, like, started listing off all these things, and I'm just like, this is Twitter drama. This is really what it's come to.
It's
Yeah.
science.
my favorite thing was whenever I saw the jump was happening, I didn't know what exactly it was about. So I messaged the Clan Garrison Twitter account. I was like, "You teabag, that's like a hate crime."
Oh, your reply.
Yeah, remember that?
yeah.
And they
Oh my-
posted on the Twitter, and I got
Yeah.
like 3 separate emails from people I know in that clan. They're like, What's this about, Colt?" And I was like, "They fell for the bait." They're like, "Oh." I think some people in that clan though probably think I'm a fucking idiot though now, because they don't know the. If
No,
you don't
that's
know
gen-
me, you think I'm an idiot. It just,
No, that's genuinely legendary.
No, I feel like it comes off as satire.
It was
I don't think it.
hilarious.
well, the
I don't think it
comments
comes
believed
off as
every bit of
serious.
it.
Well, that's Twitter users.
Yeah,
we already
don't-
know that their brains are like the
those don't
size of
count as
fucking
people.
walnuts.
I
so,
had,
yeah.
I had
They're
a,
subhuman.
I have a WVU shirt on in my profile picture, and I had someone say, on behalf of all like West Virginia Mountaineers,
don't
I
want-
apologize. And I was like, yeah.
Pass them on.
Okay, but what cracked me up though was the hamburger being called a hamburger.
Well,
Yeah.
you already call people a burger, right? When they're shit, you just
Yeah,
"Oh,
I thought
fucking
this was
burger."
I thought that was something people already did.
Yeah.
Like that was already a common
It's been
insult.
happening for probably years now since COD. Like people just call each other burgers. It's like calling someone a blueberry or like
I
a
mean,
new light.
Sweatcicle
Yeah.
kind of popularized it in D2. Like he started calling people burgers. And
It is pretty
I think
funny.
it just kind of took off from there a while ago.
See, this was the first time I ever heard of that.
Same.
This
I've
incident.
never heard someone in my entire life say you're a hamburger or you're a burger.
I've heard it before on streams.
So when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I looked it up on Urban Dictionary. I was like, no, it just means you shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at Amaze so much as I am disappointed.
I'm not. It's his whole persona seems fake. His whole energy seems fake.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump to that conclusion, but I can definitely see how people are thinking that. And I don't think it's entirely unrealistic that that is who he is.
Yeah,
I believe he's just panhandling to the woke Twitter crowd, and he's trying to come off as someone that he probably isn't behind closed doors. And it usually is with Twitter, you know,
I mean, UPS drivers
Immediately-
are fairly protected. Right?
and immediately going to the whole, oh, that means you're racist or you're calling me a racist slur, then 100% like you are playing victim there and you're trying to, you know, get something started for maybe bad publicity or all publicity is good publicity in your mind.
I saw this.
It is.
He posted this on Twitter one time, and I really thought this was like I wanted to point it out, but I didn't have the energy or like care to point it out. But he tweeted something like, "Oh, look at this account saying shit in my chat." But the thing is, in the stream, the photo he was offline. So to me, it looked like he created the account, said something really fucked up, and then post the photo. He's like, "Oh, look what people are saying," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"No way you go into your stream offline. There's just someone saying fucked up shit in there."
Do you remember what the username was? Because we could look it up on Twitter. Or
See what it
not
was.
Twitter.
I don't think we
Excuse
need
me.
to go that deep, but
I
like,
don't-
We-
It's just funny to
no, I
talk
won't.
about.
But surely he's not that stupid.
Because the account said created 8 minutes ago, and he was in his offline chat. So it's like,
Ooh,
what?
okay.
Just connect the dots. That's so fake right there.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I was
Oh.
going to ask, like, has anyone looked and just done their due diligence
Yeah, it
about
was
it?
something like 8 minutes ago. So I was like, this man's just feeding the flame.
But
Not
you know,
all
like,
people do
if
that.
you were really serious about trying to create a dialogue on Twitter, which is probably an oxymoron, you would think that he would at least have the common sense to elaborate on what exactly his issue is, instead of just saying, you guys are haters and you're racist, and just leaving it as that.
I think it was quite honestly just funny and not really much more than
That's
that.
what
Just
I
to kind
thought.
of, yeah,
It's
just
hard
to
to
kind of
take him
sit and
seriously,
watch.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not just not him, but like the whole situation. Like it's just I have nothing against the guy, and I don't think anyone really does. He's just
Yeah. Seems
he's
like
just
an
not.
idiot.
He's just not
hustling,
my
bro,
cup
that's
of
all.
tea. Like he does what he does, and that's cool. But like I think it was more of a Twitter interaction farm than anything.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
100%.
definitely not aimed at actually creating change.
it was literally Bungie tweeting out the what raid opinion makes this happen moment. Like it's
Yeah.
literally just that.
It's the easiest possible way to get interaction on a social platform.
It's
Just
censored.
ask
Yeah.
for
My
controversy.
bad.
It's like sorting by controversial on Reddit. You're just gonna find so much that either people genuinely believe it, or they are just saying it to get a reaction.
And since we're on this topic, I almost cut you out earlier trying to get it in here, but I think it was a few weeks ago as well. This might have been like right around the Umaze time. However the fuck you pronounce his name, I can't say it.
Amaze.
Yeah,
Amaze.
Maze. The Bungie dev tweeted out like that's sexual assault, and I was like,
no.
and I was like, bro, that is like
goodness.
doing anyone who's
Dude.
actually been sexually assaulted so
The
bad
Destiny
right there.
2 teabagging
That was-
incident.
Dude, that
I
was
was-
the craziest shit ever.
He ended up locking his account about 24 hours after the tweet got sent out. And basically every single response from from like the first people to respond they all ratioed him. Including
Dude,
mine,
everything.
which basically just said like your company invented and popularized this thing that you're calling a mockery of sexual assault. It just doesn't make any sense.
I think it was Icy he tweeted this. He's like, if I worked at Bungie, I'd be fired by the afternoon.
Yeah. Somebody should create a category on speedrun.com for that. fired from Bungie? Anything new? Glitchless?
Bungie percent. Yeah.
Just say you like teabagging or fucking.
Yeah, just teabag the Master Chief statue in the hallway, instantly fired.
Bungie's a very good people company though. Like I'll give him that. They
100%.
yeah,
treat people
100.
well.
Yeah,
They just can't
they
make
have
a game.
And with
well,
charity,
yeah, they
they're doing a shit
can,
ton
but
better.
not for the right people.
Yeah.
Or they can make the game. They just can't decide on which demographic to focus on.
They're very
Because
bipolar.
from
That's true.
from my perspective, as I'm sure you guys know and will probably share, the direction that I want them to go is hardcore as hell.
Agreed.
And I think that doing that while still providing a ladder of progression is the only way to make the game sustain itself for long periods of time without content. Because we can't really survive another 9-month break between either DLCs, raids, or any significant drop of content.
I think
it's just not sustainable.
I think this time around's a bit unique purely because of what happened with the Witch Queen delays and stuff like that. But like going back to Shadowkeep year, it wasn't bad. Like the 6-man content was good. Like Sundial was goated. The other what even was the other stuff? I just remember Sundial.
The Menagerie.
Menagerie back in Opulence, that was really good. Like 3-man heroic Menagerie was really fun to do.
The Seraph events were kind of garbage.
The Seraph Towers was so bad.
That was
Kinda
not
trash.
fun at all.
I didn't play a lot of those. I did them one time and I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna play this season.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah,
I feel like-
played it
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
It's like that's enough.
The problem with these 6-man activities is that there are not enough enemies. Everybody's
Yeah.
fighting over kills like it's like they're gonna starve. And
That's very true.
Devil's Lair as a strike is a perfect example of not needing to do that because you have the objective of the strike itself as well as enough shooting and looting to keep yourselves entertained.
I have a maybe controversial take about this because it kind of goes in the new seasons. Like
Let's hear
champions, I fucking hate champions. Like I just hate
Really?
it. They add it in as a roadblock, so just adding in a mechanic, and they call that
You-
thing a mechanic.
You
That's what
hate
makes-
champions
Yes.
because they are a stand-in for actual difficulty.
Yeah, so let's say they could add
Yeah.
like 2 things you could have to press and move around the map to get, but instead they add one champion as a roadblock and they cock block it like you can't get here unless you kill this guy. It's just I don't like it. I'd rather have something. Now maybe if I could just see them in the future being like, okay, we need to add this, but someone says, okay, how about we just add a champion instead? I don't know.
I feel like you're right there. They kind of just add champions, go, it'll be whatever. Like in
Right.
GMs, I understand it, but like in VOG,
Yeah, they
like
shouldn't
D2
be there.
VOG, it's like in just the normal VOG, it's funny. They'll just be like, champion. It's like, okay.
I fucking
Wow,
hate using a pulse
okay.
rifle, dude. Why the fuck do I have to use a
Yeah.
pulse rifle? You
It's,
know?
yeah, the champion as a replacement for difficulty, as well as the fact that you're shoehorned into using certain loadouts and only those certain loadouts for entire activities, is incredibly unfun.
I would say the good part about the weapon thing is that it only really matters in like master raids or GMs, because
Right.
in like normal VOG or normal Garden or whatever, the champions just disappear when you look at them with anything really.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I do notice with champions and the mods associated to them is that I think it's a good thing because it's a way for Bungie to change the PvE meta in a quick change of just adding mods, and then automatically something becomes top tier, like fusion rifles,
Yeah.
for example.
Right.
We saw this is probably the first time in a very long time that we've seen fusion rifles be top tier in PvE
Since
content.
year 1. Or
I'm- No, I'm
actually-
thinking, and the only thing in year 1 was Merciless.
Right.
That was kind of
Yeah.
broken at a time.
And then Merciless was broken in a good way, and then it was broken because the perk didn't work for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a time other than the. Actually, can you guys even think of a time when fusions were ever good in PvE?
I
mean,
liked Loaded Question back in the
right
day.
Loaded-
Last
I had-
maybe
that.
that was the fucking exotic, but that was about it.
I got Loaded Question day 1, and
Mhm.
I mained it in PvE for as long as physically possible until the inevitability of Mountaintop became too much to
Right.
withstand.
Exactly.
Agreed. Same here.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I would like to
And
cut
Fusions
it
are
out
good
here
for Gang Saul entrance. That's
and
about it.
ask NoGood what's his,
Yeah.
The D1 meta, I can imagine hasn't changed much, but more has been discovered, right? I haven't played
Yes.
D1 in a while because of the FPS and D2
Yeah, I can.
stuff.
I can get
absolutely
that.
sandpaper in your eyes. Like,
I can imagine it does take a while to get used to, right? Like,
Visually, no, because it's 1080 on Xbox One and newer gens, so it's really just the FPS, but it's not too bad. Usually it's the controller, like aiming
Yeah.
and stuff, because
yeah.
I'm used to like mouse and keyboard, and it's just weird with analog.
Now, I had a quick question though, because I didn't hear NoGood say anything about it, so I'm gonna push you in the sunlight here. What's your take on like champions and mods and shit? Like your exact take on it?
I don't like the mods part of it. I don't mind the champions when they work, um, but like forcing people to use certain things to stun them, I don't like that aspect. It's like you have to use a
yeah.
sidearm or a sword to stop the overload. It's like let me use whatever to stop it, and more freedom
I
should be
hate
Yeah.
being
allowed.
forced to use items. I feel like I have to use it because
Yeah.
Sort of bouncing back to the difficulty sort of things. I miss when Bungie would design a raid with the hard mode as the first draft of the raid, and then they would dumb it down a few steps in order to
Mhm.
make the regular mode of that
That was
raid.
just D1 they did that, I
Right.
think.
So they haven't done this for a very long
did they
time,
do
and
that
I'm
for
curious. And
Leviathan
I'm
though?
I think, but okay, you
Right.
say that, but Leviathan Prestige was not any difficult. Like it
It
wasn't
kind of
difficult or
was though.
different.
Like it was difficult when it first came out. The first day.
No, no, no. The first day of Leviathan Prestige, I remember doing it night one. We get to baths. We do baths. We do it normally, like we did in normal mode, and we went, okay, what's different? To this day, have never done the prestige mechanic in baths in Leviathan. Like, even though
What
it's
even
gone
is
now,
it?
I don't
because
know. I don't
I
know.
believe it's something to do with not being able to step on a plate or something for a certain amount of time. Like you get a lockout. But there, if you
Do it faster.
two-phased in baths, you would wipe anyways. At
I
least in my
do.
experience. Most of the groups I played with that weren't my friends, we would just wipe if we didn't one-phase baths, because there's
Yeah,
no reason to not.
and then dogs, they added 2 extra dogs, which
That's
just
fine.
made the routes different.
I thought
Yeah.
that was a fine and change. You know, what else are you gonna add
Yeah.
to that? Like really?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
but
that was make perfect sense. And then Gauntlet was, I liked Gauntlet. It made you rotate people,
Yeah.
and you couldn't have
Yeah.
people be comfortable with what they were
Yeah.
doing.
That
Callus
kind of
was just
forced you.
majors, right? like that's not.
Yes,
Callus,
Callus
you punched the
And
Scions.
teleported, yeah.
Yeah.
and yeah, you punched and teleport. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
You get replaced after every single projection wave.
I remember
Yeah.
back in the day, whenever I two-manned it prestige mode with Mario, and it was like right whenever Modern and Glad would do. No, was it Modern and Flesh were doing it? That shit was really bad. Like it was tough.
Yeah.
yeah. Like and then like two man Callus was fun to do. I remember doing that, and like another fun one was 2 man dogs. Like it's just that was so chill.
I
You
still
just
never
load
did
up
that.
and do it.
Yeah.
It's honestly, me and TB did it. TB was trying it with someone for ages and ages and ages, and then they logged off. I loaded the game. TB said, "Let's do 2 man dogs," and then we did it. I just did it first try. I was like, "All right, cool. Now I can go again." I logged on, did 2 man dogs, and logged off.
Yeah.
I do
Alrighty.
have to
It was as
butt
easy
in.
as doing like it's always kind of a shock and a disappointment when a low man challenge turns out to be really easy after you theorize about all of these different scenarios and like, oh god, it's gonna be so difficult in this one part, and then it turns
Mhm.
out to just be a wash.
Like even 2 man Callus isn't that bad. Like
Me
just normal
and
Callus.
No.
me and Fly did two-man Callus for 4 hours, with actually like with not killing him, like just a straight run for 4 hours. We just keep doing it over and
Oh,
over again, and we
like
killed
when they
him by stunning him. That was
yeah, like when I think there was a movie of the week even where these guys just killed Callus because of it does like 0.5% of a damage of his of his health when you stun him for damage. They would just ignore damage, sit around, and then wait for the next one to start. And they killed him just by stunning him for damage. and it took like 4 to 5 hours, the same as I think what you were talking about earlier.
It was just funny because I was like,
It was
why is he? I was like, why is he losing health? And then Fly's like, I think we can just kill him. So he just killed him that way.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I didn't really enjoy Leviathan.
yeah. Leviathan was only fun to speedrun after you
And
after you did it the first few times.
yeah, it was
like
fun to speedrun, but only once every 6 weeks.
I really
Right,
enjoyed
yeah.
doing that raid with LFGs though. Like I really would just enjoy hopping onto that PC LFG and just doing it for an evening. I don't know why I love playing that raid with randoms. I found it enjoyable.
It was really fun to do with LFGs. I'll give you that, especially when they
You
would
just
get
sit there
really
and you mute
upset when
mic?
you would overbelly.
I always found it boring, honestly, man.
It
I
was
couldn't
very-
really. I was on Xbox during the time, so that kind of makes sense because Xbox isn't console gaming is interesting,
Kind of brain dead, dude.
The
especially
one
on
good thing
Destiny.
about Xbox is, and still is, that for all of their games, they've got the inbuilt LFG on there, so you could. It was
True.
really easy to get groups together because
Dude,
you could
I
just make a
loved
post
that.
and it does the party straight away. I remember when that came in D1, and I was like, "Oh my god! Now I
Dude,
don't have
yes.
to use Planet Destiny's LFG
Right.
site.
Or
I
the
can
app.
use
Yeah,
or the
weird
app. I can just
app,
do it on the
yeah.
Xbox, and it makes
I
a party
remember
for
that.
me. That was
I
so
remember
good.
that
Yeah.
back in
I
D1.
have-
I would
Yeah,
LFG on the way on the bus home. By the time I found a group, I'd be home.
Yeah. See, yeah,
I used-
efficient use of time.
It was.
I used
like,
to use the
it took
Bungie
that
forums.
long.
true.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I'll never forget from Leviathan, is the code to get into the underbelly of the levers.
Exactly.
153246. Like,
I've had that shit memorized ever since it got even
Same.
since it got sunsetted.
yeah,
I've kind of debated putting it as my phone lock code, even.
I'm not gonna lie, same dude. and then only
But then,
Destiny
like,
players can get
if
in my
anybody
phone. Yeah,
knows
yeah.
me, if anybody like that knows me in real life knows that I play Destiny, they might guess it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So
a
I
very
figure-
obscure code to put in there, though. Even if
Yeah.
they know
It
the
is,
Destiny, why would
security
they
flaw,
know the
though.
Leviathan code still?
Yeah.
Yeah, even if they, I suspect, even if they did play Destiny, they probably don't have that many raid clears.
That'd be some
So-
early version you'd found it.
Dude, that code was erased from my knowledge like years ago,
I
bro.
never learned it. I just had other people do it for me.
See, no,
Oh
see, I
Just for the
was,
longest time, I would be like, I know, I'll just follow you guys and have you, and I just didn't know until I saw somebody putting it in solo, and I just put it in my phone.
I was the guy who would do the code and then guide people through the underbelly who'd never been there before. Like, after Leviathan came out, I spent like a good 4 or 5 hours just running around, like the day after, running around underbelly, learning where everything was, so
Yeah.
that
It was
just
fun.
knew
The
it.
underbelly is very fun. I think
a cool
it definitely
concept.
was it
Yeah.
was very underutilized, which is
Yeah.
very disappointing for me because we all thought at one point, I'm sure, that it was gonna be different like obviously you take the underbelly to different encounters of the raid, but I guess it felt empty still.
I would have
Yeah.
loved
There were
it.
the chests, but that was about it, and it still felt like a slog. If you took the wrong turn, you were just so far behind all of your teammates.
I would have
That was
loved
really irritating.
the addition of like hidden secret raid encounters or some shit like that, because like that would become community-wide knowledge no matter what, because it's easy.
Right.
to
Like basketball
access.
court?
Yeah, like
Yeah, I was about to say like the basketball court.
no,
Yeah,
but like something you could actually like
exactly
do
that.
like
Yeah.
very well.
Except
And
the
also-
basketball court didn't do anything.
No, it was just a basketball court. That was
It was
it.
just
That
fun.
was the point.
I
Yeah.
remember
I
that
get- I
people were like trying to
suppose.
figure that out for like a whole 2 days.
I think
feel like
people
the
have been working on the
underbelly-
basketball court or the I'm sorry for interrupting. I was gonna say the basketball court had been a thing for years at this point. I'm pretty sure there was a snippet of one of Evan F's videos that talked
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Some
We did it,
people have
yeah.
been on it for the entirety of Destiny 2's release. They've still gone back to raid secrets and updated the threads.
It's like you're talking about that now. I just looked in Rage Secrets, and the last exit chat is still active. Like
Oh my god.
people are still working on the last exit puzzle like actively, like genuinely actively.
I
That's
think we're
dedication.
gonna leave that for Bife and Mylan.
No, the last exit puzzle is like if it isn't like an actual thing and there's like something behind it, it's going to be something very little. It'll be like some text saying like "well done" or something.
Yeah,
But
like that
like
glitch in Halo with a
yeah,
proposal.
Just gonna say my
yeah,
Imagine
mom's
it
vag.
has
Well done.
info. Imagine it has info about Lightfall or shit like that. Imagine they work
Yeah.
that much into the future.
I mean, yeah,
That would be wild.
I'd
it could
imagine
be.
the team on Lightfall is very Skeleton Crew-esque.
I don't know. The Joe Blackburn said on Twitter the other day, bad news. I'm paraphrasing, but like it was like bad news. If you want to work at Bungie, you're not going to be working on Witch Queen. Instead, you're
Right.
going to be working on season 17 and Lightfall. It's like
Mhm.
it was like a shot at people saying, "Yeah, come join us and work on the new shit that we're not talking about yet."
I'm sure that was a joke, though. The people
Oh
that
yeah,
were
no,
saying that were joking. They weren't serious.
but Joe Blackburn was like serious in the way that it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're not. I think that was his way of saying Witch Queen's done. Like we're fully done on it now.
I mean, it makes
Sure.
sense. There's only, like 19 days left or some shit.
We have about
Yeah.
no, actually we have about 3 weeks,
2.5.
2.5 weeks. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
20
yeah.
seconds.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're
yeah,
getting
so
there,
it'll
man.
be-
Bugs that are shown the first week, dude. Something's gonna be really bad, like badly broken. Just can't wait to see
You can
what.
tell
yeah.
who isn't prepared for the launch of Witch Queen by how many days they have taken off and when they are.
I have the whole week off.
Because the
No, we
people
don't
that
have.
took the day of launch off are the people that don't really know.
I'm gonna be stuck
Yeah,
on the
because-
ship for 3 days when that comes out. Specifically, the 22nd to the 25th. I'm gonna be stuck on the ship taking nonstop tests, so it just sucks.
Yeah,
The-
so
the worst
honestly, that's
part
a W
is-
because you don't have to be worried about getting in because of the shaky
Yeah,
servers.
I was about to say the worst part is launch day with over 1 million people pre-ordering.
No,
like
Right.
launch day is going to be terrible.
Gonna
Just gonna
release
sleep in, dude.
Is
Go
that
work out.
not the most pre-orders ever for a Destiny expansion? I could be wrong,
It
but I'm sure
is-
it's up there.
So
Like-
they said they are approaching the most pre-ordered expansion in history.
Yeah,
So it's either the second or third.
I
at
think
this
the
point.
most might be King's Fall, maybe.
I'm
Which
really
makes
sense.
hoping
Sorry
they
for-
they push that
oh,
record,
Kings.
man.
That
It
or
would
Destiny
really
2,
help.
or they say
Yeah.
DLC.
Hey, what about the Bungie and Sony merge too? That's something.
Oh,
to
man.
talk
The
about.
merge,
I'm worried about that.
I'm-
I don't see anything happen with it right now, but like I imagine that it's gonna change with like exclusives in the future.
right?
There's
think
tons
that-
of mixed opinions about it, man. There's
Yeah,
I
feel
really
like-
like it, honestly, but I'm also my expectations are like reasonable. Where I'm like, hey, maybe by Lightfall and all those other seasons, we're gonna have more detailed and high quality
Yeah.
content. But if we don't, I'm fine with it. My expectations right now as a completionist is just like,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna grind the game no matter what. As long as they give me content to grind and no life, I'm happy. I'm pretty
Exactly.
easy to please.
I would
I can
like
see-
it if Sony
yeah.
kept Bungie in check. Like, hey, why are you fixing this? There's this issue. But I feel like they're gonna give Bungie the free creative, you know.
I
And
feel
but
like
if that happens, that could be both. That could be either a good thing or a bad thing
'Cause it's a good thing
because
with Activision. Why would they?
Bungie possibly does need some reining in because they keep, like, for example, this is more of a minor topic, but the eager edge nerf compared to lots of the other bugs,
I
it
don't
just doesn't seem entirely. It seems out of place in
That's-
this
that's what I don't get.
massive
They were
map filled
waste-
with patch notes that are very important.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
I had an idea for this, and it was them saying in the TWAB that it allowed people to get out of the environment, and
Which
then
is
I
not
saw
true.
a clip on, and then I saw a clip on Twitter of someone jumping out a hole in the wall. And I thought,
Oh,
do you know
it
what would be
clips his tweet.
Yeah, yeah. Did you know what would
Yeah.
be a good movie? The week idea, just going around Destiny and walking out of the map because you can just do that. Just going around and doing all the stupid
Exactly.
ones.
They have
like,
given a movie of the week emblem out to stuff like that mocks Bungie before, like the
Yeah.
video of the guy with no hands that was quick swapping
yeah,
Oh yeah.
the
Camel.
slugs. They gave him the movie of the week, which I think honestly that was the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen. That the
That-
fact that
I mean, yeah,
Bungie
because
can take the
it-
joke and they
Yeah.
can take the joke and
Yeah.
just be cool with it.
Except
right?
Camel doesn't have a history of constantly shit talking Bungie. I
Yeah,
don't
but
think.
but
Right.
I feel like off the top of my head, I could maybe take you to like at least 10 places where you can just walk out the map because there's
Mhm.
nothing there.
Right.
It's-
There's there are at least there's there's the skip at the very beginning of Vault of Glass.
yeah,
That's
there's
very well known.
there's one in in Lake of Shadows Strike, where the final blight is, if you put your Sparrow up against the wall and boost out to the right like you would do with Vogue, you can get out the map there. There's another...
Wait, the one where the staircases are, and after you get past the
there's that too.
The first mini boss. Yeah.
There's the payback skip to get out the map in the EDZ as well. There's a bunch in the Dreaming City where you can just pop out the map.
It makes sense though. Anywhere there's a ward border, if you just jump off the edge and Sparrow fly, you're gonna find something, you know.
Yeah, and then there's all the ones in Grasp as well, and Presage,
Nessus,
the Fallen Saber. You have so many in just the open world.
Slayer.
I really love the EDZ oobs, like the ones where they go super far out, they Sparrow fly out, and there's like
those ones are cool.
Weird shit back there. Like if you go super far away, and
also
the huge cut in the mountain. There's like a bunch of like random little houses and shit from like the Golden Age, and then there's also another oob over in the Sunken Isles. I think that's what it's called. Where it's like the huge cut in the mountain, where the Cabal cut like a runway into a mountain, and it looks like some shit out of Minecraft. I don't know. You have to look it up, but there's a looks awesome.
In the payback oob, if you go if you go the wrong way rather than going back in the map, if you follow like this rock face round to the right, there's this massive grey cube. Like it's like a 50-meter grey cube.
Wait, so
it's just
kind
out
of like
there.
So ominous, bro.
Like the cube from like a much larger cube from Grasp, the third encounter.
I'm talking like it's a non-textured grey box cube that just has 1 meter. It's got labeled 1 meter squares. Like it's literally just a relic from the development where they just forgot to remove this grey box asset.
Like they created the world in Blender or something. And
Yeah.
Cube.
No, it's literally just a cube with labeled 1 meter squares on it. It's hilarious.
Imagine finding that just out in the middle of nowhere. Like how kind of unnerving it would be. Like, you're like,
in the real world. They just
in the real world.
You're taking a hike through the woods one day up in the mountains, and you just all of a sudden you come across some weird just cube. You're gonna think it's some alien shit, man.
Timmy from Fortnite or whatever they called it.
Hey, what?
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 No, never mind. Don't talk about it.
There's also this strange oob in the Divide and Cosmodrome where you just like go over a wall and there's like these like 7 lights, just different color lights.
Yeah. Speaking of out of bounds and speedrunning, we have another subtopic about other games we've been playing recently. So I think, NoGood, do you speedrun anything or do any other cool stuff in games other than Destiny?
I tried Titanfall 2 speedrunning, but never really got into it. Speedrunning wise, no. More of casual play in like Assassin's Creed video games and Minecraft.
What?
Lots of Minecraft lately.
Oh yeah.
Titanfall 2 speedrunning is something else.
It is. It's very.
Is that like impressive. A whole niche community of people? Or is it big?
It's medium.
It's bigger now.
Yeah.
It used to be really small, but it's bigger now.
But like the players are ridiculous. The movement in that game, it just looks insane.
Do people use controller or mouse and keyboard more?
Controller.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty, so this is a good time to talk about it because you were just talking about that. Games we have been playing recently that are not Destiny.
Oof.
I've been playing Dying Light 2 and Pokemon Legends Arceus. I gotta say, dude, this Dying Light game is fucking beautiful.
Yeah. So what is that about? I keep hearing about it. Is it like a zombie sort of game?
Yeah. So I played the Dying Light 1, and it was like essentially like they were stranded on an island. They couldn't get off of it. But there's this, zombie outbreak going on, and they're trying to find out the cure. They have these... It's weird to explain, but Dying Light 2 is basically like the entire planet has failed. And now the entire planet has it. It's like in the future. Society's in a ruin. It's really cool. I like it. I'm looking forward to doing this multiplayer, though.
So is it more of like an escape game or a horde thing?
Like a parkour RPG. Kinda, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds interesting. I think I saw Spot playing it. I should tune in sometime and watch him play it.
I was in the middle of watching a fucking what's his name? Charlie's video, Moist Critical.
Oh, dude, he's
Yeah.
such.
I,
He's
I,
so
I was
funny.
watching his moist meter on the game. Like I'm halfway through the video, but it looks beautiful, man. I definitely don't have any time to play the games right now, just because I'm playing Destiny all the time and I'm way too busy on that game. But
Is it your alt account or your
Yeah.
main still?
all account is going well. I am basically gonna be free in the next 2 weeks.
Hell yeah. I've just been playing Forza, or the new Horizon game came out a few months ago. That's been a lot of fun. I know that's not for everybody because it's more of a car focused racing game. It's not a sim as much as the
Motorsports.
Motorsport series. Thank you. But yeah, it's just a ton of fun to make stupid builds and go racing. It's just a very casual thing for when I'm
Ye-
burnt out of D2,
I
as
agree. I
well
would
as
agree.
GTA. And there's a skateboarding sim that came out. Um, it's it's a it's supposed to be a skateboarding sim called Skater XL, and it's been in development for the past few years, but only came out for the 1.0 release last year, I believe. So I've been having a lot of fun messing around with that, installing mods, extra maps, and stuff. Just
You
some
mentioned
nice
you
side
mentioned
games.
GTA 6 or no GTA 5.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
No. GTA 6 actually is
Rockstar,
confirmed now.
yeah,
year.
Rockstar confirmed the development of
On
GTA
Twitter.
6. Yeah, and many are speculating it's going to take a year to 2 years for it to release, which
I
I think is
believe.
accurate, especially since they want to go public about it now.
Didn't they say? I swear they said earlier last year that it was going to take up until 2025 for
Maybe.
GTA 6 to come out.
I'm just excited that the fact that hell has frozen over and they actually confirm the development of it and its existence, and
Yeah.
also the fact that maybe COD games are going to get better in 2024 on the 2024 release, since the next two CODs are going to be like the same old bullshit. But
Well, what exactly is changing to make them better?
they're going to be not yearly release anymore. They're already
Oh.
talking about that.
Is it
And
bi-yearly?
right now it's yearly, but they're talking about at least like 2 years to 3 years. A single COD game is going to be relevant, and like,
Oh, wow.
so maybe grinding COD and enjoying it would actually be worth your time versus just a camo simulator type of thing.
Oh my
You know?
god! When I remember I was kind of cringe and used to watch Ali A videos, but then
Oh, no.
when he started doing like fucking COD unboxings and that's all it became, I was like, all right, I don't care anymore. But going
Right.
back to the GTA 5 thing, you'd be happy to know that they are releasing the millionth version of the game for PS5 and Series X.
That's
Like-
the
Dude, I want Elder
expanded and
Scrolls
enhanced.
remake, dude.
Oh my!
What could they possibly keep changing? Because
Uh,
didn't they just release? They released a remastered version, quote unquote
GTA?
remastered version.
That was the trilogy.
So-
No, that's
yeah.
different and much worse. This is they've
Ooh.
put GTA 5 on the new PlayStation and new Xbox.
Oh, that must be
Yeah,
what I
so-
heard about.
It's
Yeah.
called the expanded and enhanced edition of
Yes,
GTA
that one.
5. It's gonna be like everywhere, and there's apparently gonna be new content. So if you remember back in the day when GTA 5 was on the 360 and then it went over the next gen on Xbox
Oh my
One,
god, I
and
forgot it
PS4,
released on the 360.
a lot of
Oh
stuff
my
changed,
God.
right? And so they ended up capping off content eventually in the High Life update, I believe, back in then, and they only started updating the Xbox One and PS4 version, and they left the 360 version in the dust. They're basically doing the same thing here because it's just been so long where there's 3 generations of consoles and platforms to be released of GTA 5, which just shows how old of a game it is. But the trilogy was made by Grove Street Great Games, which is a mobile game company. So that's why it's so bad.
they like contracted. I from like what I've heard from other people, like they kind of just contracted it out and gave it to some company, and then they did it, and they spent essentially no time on it. And from what I've seen, like AI upscaled stuff, and it got really fucked up. And now Rockstar and Take Two have had to put all of this energy into actually making it somewhat playable and look good, and they've had to go in and manually fix stuff.
Yeah, so Grove Street Great Games actually made the app versions of GTA 3 and like San Andreas. Like You would go to the App Store on your phone and you download those apps.
Oh,
Basically, they're not like, some random company because those
Yeah.
guys made those apps. So they basically just ported the apps over to consoles.
Oh.
Yeah.
jeez.
So
Okay, that makes
what
more
happened.
sense now.
Why it's a waste of money. Unless you're an Xbox, you have no other option to
Right.
play the new ones because there's no disc versions of those old games on Xbox. Not even on the 360, but on like PS3, they exist. But
Honestly, you're better off just going and buying a PSP and playing it on there. Like
Can you even
G-
GTA
GTA
5?
no, not GTA 5, the
Oh.
old ones, and
the trilogy.
the trilogy, and going and playing those games. Like I remember my friend had a PSP, and we used to play GTA on there, and you'd have the fucking cheat codes for the tank and everything, and
Right.
cheat codes in games. That's something I miss as well.
Oh yeah, like back in the days when you'd have a whole pocketbook filled with cheat codes for your
Yeah.
Nintendo, or the like the secret codes for hot coffee and whatnot.
Yeah, and you get them in like, but this is like before YouTube. Like you get them in like magazines or whatever. And
Yeah, you would sub to
yeah,
Game
yeah,
Informer and they'd have
yeah.
pages.
You go to
Yeah.
GameStop, bro. You go to GameStop, you see like the little ultimate guide for whatever game, right? And you
I have
just
one,
beg your
actually.
parents, "Hey, can I get
Nice.
the book, bro?"
Yeah. Even as somebody who didn't grow up with a game console, I didn't have one until I was 15 with my own job. It was still infectious to see everybody so excited about all of
Oh,
these new
man.
games and stuff. Like the leaks, the news, all of that. It was so much fun to just keep up with as a bystander.
Gaming
It's
is a
like-
cultural thing, man. And you see
Yeah.
that like nowadays, but instead of social media is definitely a super cultural thing nowadays rather than
Right.
gaming.
Hmm.
So it's just interesting.
So with
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 5, I've played the shit out of that game. And so's everyone really. But I had the map of Skyrim
Nice.
on my wall. So rather than looking at the map in game, I would look up from my screen, look at the map, and go, "Okay, I've got to go there so I can walk this way."
That it's just that moment when
I
you
love that.
have memorized your
Yeah.
video game world more than your actual real life world.
I mean,
Dude, if you told me to memorize the entire GTA 5 map by heart, I could do it. Like,
I can't. No, I can't. Like, I've played it.
100%.
I've played it at GTA
You know
5.
street numbers and
I
shit?
can. No, but like,
No,
if
no,
you
no, no,
if you
I
tell
know
me
where I'm
where, if you
going.
yeah,
tell me to go whatever you want, dude. I'll go there. Like,
yeah, literally,
Yeah.
tell me and I'll do it.
I'll be an Uber for people, and I'll just take me to this place, and I'll go.
50
Like,
bucks, dude.
I used to
Yeah.
break the shit out of that game. I was a big glitcher back in the day.
Nice.
Tons of modded stuff on
it-
Xbox.
The
It
Life
does
Invader
take-
money glitch. It's
Yeah.
the
It was
story.
more than that. You'd bring creative mode, like or creator mode, into like online lobbies, and you start placing around props everywhere.
Oh
no.
my
I
God.
broke it to like the furthest degree possible, and after the glitches kept getting patched and stuff became harder,
Were they banned
I
people for
just
that?
quit. No,
Yeah,
dude, I thought I was gonna get banned so many times. I still have an account on there with like $40 billion and fast run and
Yeah.
all types of
I have-
crazy shit.
Yeah, the most extreme example of glitching I've been as somebody with only like 500 hours in the game. It was somebody flying an armored Karuma around Cayo Perico and getting like 10x money from all things. Like I think it was Pink Diamond that.
I think they're
'cause-
legitimately hacking. That doesn't sound like a glitch.
No,
No.
not a glitch. I'm sorry. But it's. I mean, kind. I don't know.
'Cause
You are
glitches-
right. It's not,
glitches
it's not
is
gl- it's-
using, like,
I know it's
yeah.
not glitching. I know it's not
Yeah.
glitching. But it was just the funniest experience I've ever had in gaming. Just
I'm
flying around the map, getting
I'm-
10x money, and
D1
you know,
nowadays.
Do you,
yeah.
Oh
It
my
is, but it is kind of
God,
sad
yeah,
though
D1.
because Rockstar seems to not be taking the hacking problem at all serious.
On PC, yeah,
I think
and
it's
like
what
on
makes it kind of fun
PlayStation.
sometimes, though, in a way.
It is, but literally,
Yeah.
I loaded in before the podcast started, and literally within 15 minutes of me loading into the game, I was faced with somebody with an infinite fire cannon or like like an orbital cannon on like
That's a glitch, actually. You could do
Is it
frozen money. Yeah, so I would do frozen money, which would either bring story mode into an online lobby or creator mode into an online lobby. And
Ooh.
as long as you had the base bank balance for that, you could just keep buying it over and over and over again without any cooldown.
Oh, really?
It's a real
Okay.
glitch, and I would use it against these tryhards, but
Yeah.
Xbox is a lot better, man. If you're trying to get away from hackers and all that stuff, It's console, yes, but you
So
can't hack anything on there.
is it Steam specifically, or
Steam
could
is pretty
I?
bad. Yeah.
So would I, if I wanted to buy the game on the Windows Store instead, would it be different?
No,
Well,
it's just the platform base that's the problem, and you can even
Oh.
get doxxed over it and get hit offline pretty often.
Yeah. Well,
It's
that's
a
never
pretty-
happened to me.
It's
but
it's a
yeah.
bad platform to play GTA on, unfortunately. Which
Yeah.
I was always grateful on Xbox. It was always fun.
Yeah.
One-
Except
one-
I don't know.
one thing I'd like to hear from NoGood is like, what's D1 speedrunning really like now? Because I've not
Holy
kept up with it massively, but I've seen how crazy shit's got over the last like year
Yeah.
and a half.
Shit is
Yeah.
nuts.
So, the biggest thing probably is taunt breaching, email glitching. You basically, do you know a bureaucratic walk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Back when it was the first thing. That,
The
but
high
on
step.
crack.
Yeah.
That, but on crack. Basically, you can get through almost any wall.
I've seen
And
the
it's
taunt.
no
but
longer live
shit-
service, right? So they're just never gonna patch it.
No,
Yeah,
it's never
yeah,
gonna get
that's-
fixed.
Yeah,
That's the
They're
good
gonna get
thing.
That's what makes speedrunning old games the best, because
100%. Yeah.
you can just learn something and anything new is not going to get fixed.
The thing though is, Destiny 1 is eventually going to get turned offline. You're not going to be able to
I'm
golden. You're not
terrified
going
of
to be
that.
able to run it in in 5 to 10 years. They're going to turn the servers off.
It's
That's
gonna
the
be
problem,
cheap to
man.
maintain a small server capacity though, because not that
ser-
many people are on it though, right?
The
The
servers
problem
are
is
connected
always
to
online.
D2, so
Yeah,
It's
they
an
are.
always online game, so I'm always terrified of that thought. Where recently seeing Halo 3 servers turned off, right? You know,
Yeah.
mainly it was just multiplayer stuff, maybe some custom maps you built, but that's all. But in Destiny, each account is
Everything.
individual and super different, right? You have
Rest
your
in
own
peace.
roles, your own builds, your own
Yeah.
armor. Everything's so different on each player's account. So if you turn those servers off, it's gonna be way worse than just, you know,
Mhm.
unless they do a remaster and they somehow pull off a remaster, which I think is not gonna happen.
Well, they're
but I
going to
would
just
like
I
for
hope
it.
not.
they're just going to
gonna
port
fix-
everything from D1 into D2 eventually.
Yeah.
That's why I'm okay with them. People like to call it recycled content. I like to call it
It
remastered
is.
content. I like them doing that because then eventually when D1 does go offline, I am not too hurt about it.
The thing though is that they're only importing a piece at a time, and they also are replacing the new content with the old content. And as much as that is fun from a nostalgia point of view, it annoys me because it seems like a cop out instead of creating like the fact that Vault of Glass was the main raid, the last major raid. It kind of annoyed me because it felt like they were cheaping out on actually giving us a new experience. I'm not
I
sure if
like
anybody
the
else.
guns. I like
I
the guns,
agree.
the seals, and the stuff that they like.
Yeah,
It was a remaster. That's like it's objective that all that stuff is a remaster. But
it
if
yeah.
you want to, really just criticize them, you can call it recycled.
I
I
agree
did like what they
with
did with it though.
I agree with you both there, but I think Zem's point kind of is that as they're bringing all of this stuff into D2 and making it like work with D2, what it gives them the ability to do is use all of this D1 content that they've brought over to potentially at some point release it as its own separate remastered release.
Remaster that could
Because
be yeah.
because they've done all the work of putting it into D2. All they have to do is
Yeah.
put it all together into its own separate game.
And I guess we are doing the play testing for them as we speak.
Yeah, but like,
That's really interesting to think about. I never really thought about it that
Yeah.
exact way.
That could be
one
an
thing-
interesting thing.
It was
one
more
thing
of a
about the-
collector's
Yeah.
point of view, though.
one thing about the
Yeah.
Destiny content vault that annoys me for D2 is give me my story missions back, man.
Yeah.
Like,
The fact that you can't
Yes.
replay the like 4 of the campaigns, you just get dropped in at 1100 power into Dares of Eternity, and you're just left
not-
on your own with
it's
a
not
bunch
just-
of quests that you don't know how to do, people you don't know where they are or what to do with any of the information you're being given.
Yeah.
The New Light experience is just terrible and needs
It's
a
not
It's
human.
horrible.
It
Yeah.
needs
It's
a
not-
it terribly needs an overhaul.
it's not just that; it's the daily heroic story mission playlist. Like, I've got speedrun.com up now on the D2 story, and everything up until last call or the first mission of Forsaken is unavailable. And
Right.
although those were only played by like I don't know, like 30 to 50 of us, NoGood, like the 30 to 50 of us that would run that shit occasionally or all the time, like NoGood. Having that removed is just horrible. Actually, looking at it now, a majority of these solo ones are just all NoGood, and a bunch of the fire team ones as well.
There's Destiny speedrunning just got killed
It did.
because of that.
It got nuked. I didn't do it too much, but I used to do duo stuff with Bailey, and that was just fun to just go on and do. Like we did like looped 6 payback. Yeah, looped. Oh my god, looped is
the Titan mission with the tank, right? What was that called again?
I remember that. Yeah, I don't.
I did High Plane Blues. That was so much fun.
Yeah, you can still do High Plane Blues.
No, I'm saying as an example, like High Plane Blues is just so much fun. But they are actually vaulting the Tangled Shore. With the release of Witch Queen, so it'll very soon be unavailable to play.
Speaking of, there's a lot of stuff going away. A lot of it's going to be World Pool loot, and a lot of stuff that's going to be kind of missed, but I hope they replace it eventually. One of them being like the Last Perdition Pulse Rifle, Void.
It's the only Void legendary pulse right now, isn't it?
Yes. And for me personally, when I do a lot of GM farming, and you need specific kind of weapons depending on mods and stuff like that, a really good rolled Void Pulse Rifle is great. So, and they're basically replacing it all. Like, I think it's 20 or 30 weapons from the loot pool, and then a handful of them from Trials, Iron Banner, and the GM pool. And
I think Chris Proctor said they're doing 40 new legendaries.
Yeah, somewhere between 40 and 50.
Yeah,
and I think they're also the weapons this week at Bungie post from last week also tried to flesh out the foundries, which is actually huge because foundries up until this point have literally just been cosmetic.
Yeah, them getting unique perks is really cool.
Except for Amalan is only ever energy and power weapons, right? But other than like some 1 or 2 very small differences, you don't really notice any difference in the way that they play. So I think that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I really like the changes in the most recent TWAB, just besides the most, controversial ones. But when they previewed the weapon crafting, I loved it. Dude, they could have dropped the ball so hard on weapon crafting, but I feel like this is a better, if not like the best way they could have done weapon crafting. Is there's still a grind to it, there's still RNG involved, but it's a fast track way to get your god rolls, which I think is beneficial for mostly the casual players. But it's I do like how they did that. I want to know everyone else what they think about that.
I feel like it's a really cool thing to do. Like how you have to take perks off of other guns to put them on the gun you want. Like you have to, like you might get this gun that is entirely trash bar one perk that you want. So you have to go use this gun so that you can level it up to remove the perk. Like it's nice because it puts some intentionality behind getting drops. Because at the moment it's like, so I recently got a 5 out of 5 Thrax Fist, but I'd been farming for it from the Umbrals for months. Like that's all I was doing, and then I gave up because I would get Thrax Fist to drop and I'd have nothing good. So I just stopped, and I was just playing Trials. And at the end of the game, as I go to delete it, I see it has quick draw opening shot. I inspect it, and it's perfect. And to feel that I would now be able to go, for example, using Fracturist as an example, I've had all of those perks drop, but just not on the same gun. I could use those bad guns, take the perks off, and then put them all into one. It's nice to be able to do that.
You do wonder though, with the weapon crafting system, I wonder how they're going to be able to limit the I don't really know how to, I don't know what to call it, but like the ceiling for how good weapons can get. Because with the ability to craft your own weapons, you're obviously going to want to, like, there's always the meta of reload plus damage perk, and then there are utility weapons which are slightly more niche but also very useful, but in like other ways. I just, because that is part of what people liked about sunsetting, at least in other games, is that it forces you to start over. But with the weapon crafting, you're gonna reach a point where there is no room left to improve on weapons, I think.
I feel like that's kind of where we're at now. It's just that it might be a bit quicker and less annoying to do that. Like, again, with my Fract Fist and other guns like Succession or Heritage, I'm at a point with the rolls I've got on those guns and a bunch of others where it is physically impossible to get anything better. Like, I have the perfect roll. There is no
Right.
improvement here.
Right. So like I have 7 perfect sniper rolls that I don't use because snipers are bad. But
Yeah.
but like yeah, they're all collecting dust in my vault. I have like 2, I have a Uzume PvE roll and a distant Timulus. But
Yeah, I've got this
and a bunch of other really good, like either near perfect or 5 out of 5 stuff that there's just the high of getting it is immediately superseded by the thought that, oh god, the grind is over, I have nothing left to do, and that
I feel
kind of
that doesn't exist.
it kind of ruins
There's always
it.
stuff to grind for me, man.
I feel like with crafting, it's more the fact that you're not hunting for a specific combination of rolls. You're hunting for a specific perk to build your collection of perks to combine. It's more of, okay, so I want this. So obviously they said that you'd only be able to put perks that would be able to roll on those guns. So you can't put like chain reaction on a hand cannon,
Right.
for example. Like you go with your hand cannon, you go, okay, I want for Crucible, I want a range masterwork. Oh, that's not like perks. I want sure shot, high cal, rangefinder, and rampage, for example. Like,
Right.
you want that. You then have to go find all of these different hand cannons with those specific perks on them, use them, and then combine them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a case of you're gonna have to use
You have to use each gun before you can rip a perk off it.
That's why I
Okay,
like
yeah.
about it, man. There's a grind to it. There's
Yeah,
still
so
RNG is involved, because the whole thing of RNG and people complaining about it, it's the identity of Destiny. Whether people like it or not, it's RNG needs to stay in the game. So doing it this route is great. Everything about it, I really enjoy it.
Basically, you have to sacrifice 4 guns to make your one perfect gun for like in total 4 in terms of perks and then 5 for the masterwork. So you have to sacrifice
So I guess,
5 guns to make this one.
yeah, so I suppose that does sort of solve the issue of, like, if your vault is entirely made up of perfect guns, there's no reason to keep playing for guns. So that was my main concern about it, but I suppose the way that you've just explained it is kind of helping me realize that it's not actually that bad.
Something that I'm worried about is that the upgrading part, where you have to get like 500 plus kills or something like that. I don't know how that's gonna work out, because a lot of the time that's just blow up a CP and
Yeah, that's what's going to
Yeah, and when you wonder if they're gonna eventually make throwaway not count for kill or for XP, or like the hollowed layer, you don't get any progress from enemies killed in that final boss room.
I have a
And
guess
only
they're
that
gonna be
final
doing
boss
that.
room.
Do you know what the funniest thing about that is ever is there was this live stream in Forsaken where Luke Smith was on it, and he was talking about Hallowed Lair, and he was like, "Yeah, and for some reason you don't get progress in the final boss room." And he was just so
He doesn't know
confused.
about it, bro.
Yeah,
He was
I know.
actually confused.
Yeah, he was genuinely confused. Like he was like, "What was going on here? I just didn't get progress." He was just on a live stream saying it.
Yeah, my
That's
bounty
like,
you didn't complete, bro.
but
Like,
yeah,
what the hell?
genuinely,
Like-
that's one of my funniest things I've ever
Did
seen.
you imagine him just coming down to the floor and asking like the one of the head guys, like, bro, I was playing some Destiny after work last night, and my bounties didn't complete when I was playing Hollowed Lair. I just need like 5 more fusion rifle kills when I was playing Hollowed Lair. It didn't
Like,
give
oh,
me any
sorry, that
progress.
was
What the
my
hell,
bad.
man?
Hey Zim, now there's something you
Yeah.
want to talk about with the Bungie form and emblems.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
we should get into
Oh,
that,
yes.
'cause
I think we have some-
I've been curious about that. I've been holding my
So-
tongue for a little bit.
It's a super controversial thing that's going on, but if you guys didn't know me, I am a big emblem collector. I literally have almost every emblem in the game. Blah blah blah. I give Bungie all my money basically, but there's just been this issue with emblems in general where there's a thing called account sharing. Basically, someone with a big emblem account can share their emblems onto your account for whatever amount of money. Bungie doesn't like that. Apparently, they're trying to fix it. But then this new thing came out with contest emblems, stuff like Movie of the Week, art, fashion, Bungie bounty.
Things that Bungie themselves would have to give you. Like
Yes.
somebody would have to log into your, or not log in, but they would have access
Take
to
your
your
Bungie
account.
profile. Yeah, they would take
And they
your
would
Bungie profile. They
yeah.
would apply it to your account on their own accord. It might take 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I've won a lot of different contests, movie of the week, art, other stuff before, and it usually takes a couple weeks for them to do it. So people ended up finding out that if you get a regional retweet from, like, let's say Destiny UK or Destiny Netherlands,
The
or
best retweet account.
what, like, yeah, it's just basically these
Destiny 2
Twitter
Middle
accounts.
East.
So in order to win some of these emblems, you need a retweet from the main Destiny 2 account, like Destiny the game account, not a regional account, right? And it's been confirmed since that these regional retweets don't count. And so people would bait out a retweet or beg for retweets from these regionals, and then once they get a retweet, they submit a lost emblem form. And then whoever is managing those forms and giving out the emblems, they would assume, oh, it counts, but it really doesn't.
Yeah.
And so they would immediately give them the emblem, and they would claim it as legitimate, when
And
in fact it's not.
Yeah, and this was exacerbated over the holidays as well because Bungie was on holiday for a month.
Yeah,
And they left this automated system to
it was a
distribute
bot.
to distribute.
Yeah.
There was some sort of bot that they left in place to handle all of this over the 3 weeks or so that they were gone.
And
it resulted in
yeah.
hundreds of false emblem claims being
yeah, and
submitted.
it's ruined a lot of things in the community.
The emblems that such as fashion, movie of the week, etc., are now far more common than they have any right to be.
My friends
Yeah.
list has exploded with them. It is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so all of a sudden I have 10 people with the new Dazzling Visage emblem.
Yep.
Yeah.
When
That's
I
the
used to
most
only have
abused one.
This
when I
might
used
not
to
be
have
an
one.
this might not be yeah, this might not be an issue for like some people who don't have like friends list of
Yeah.
like stacked sweaty players, but like
Yeah.
with all of us, I
It's a very
I
first
assume
world
it's kind
problem.
of similar.
This is
yeah,
this is the type of shit that is
this is an us
underground.
problem. Yeah,
But it's
This is
something that I'm passionate about, and personally a lot of other people are. And for me, when I saw it happening, I thought maybe people would have more integrity and self-respect for their accomplishments, but
What do you think, Zemp? Come on now.
it's in a video game.
Dude, I know it's pixels, but it's a very cool achievement to
It
get
is
a cosmetic given to you by Bungie themselves, and
like
it
in
was
D1.
ruined. It was
In
completely
D1,
ruined because of
in
this.
D1, movie of the week was everything. Like if you
That
were
was
playing
the hugest
Crucible,
flex.
yeah, if you were playing Crucible in
awesome.
D1
I remember
and you
that.
saw a movie of the week, genuinely you'd be like, "Oh my god,
Dude.
look
Yeah,
at that
like,
guy!
yeah,
That's a
like,
movie of the week
yeah.
emblem."
And then nowadays you see fashion and you're like, how much you want to bet it's fake? Or you see an art
Yeah.
emblem, how much you want to bet it's fake? I
uh,
want
Yeah.
art legitimately, and seeing people in the clan or
Us-
on my friends
yeah.
list with the art emblem,
It
and
is
I'm like, I
fine.
know they did the form. It's fucked up. And Bungie knows about it. I don't know what they're gonna
I
do.
don't think they care enough. I really.
Yeah, I'm
well,
pretty
there's
sure that's not very
rumors.
high on their priority list.
There's
And even if
rumors,
it
and I've been told
was,
things where they're voting on to ban people or not
I
that
think that's too
exploited
far.
the forum.
I think
They're
that's too
voting
no,
far.
on it,
there's
and
you can get emblems stripped from your account. That's happened in the past.
yeah, so I expect them to revoke them from the collections, but the problem is that it's still in their inventories. They can still wear it, so it's essentially an account share emblem at that point,
Right.
where it's only in your inventory, and once you delete it, it's gone forever.
Yeah, the only silver lining to that is if you get an account share and you those emblems only exist in your inventory. You can never delete them or put them in the vault.
I would like
And
Bungie to
otherwise
just do a
they'll
global like emblem wipe on all
no,
accounts.
no. People
It won't hurt anything.
No. He's talking about inventory emblems,
Like
if it,
inventory
yeah,
only.
he's
They're
not
not
talking
gonna
about
affect
collections.
okay.
collections,
No.
nothing like
I
that.
see what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah, I thought you
Yeah.
meant like resetting your entire
No.
challenge.
No.
That's
Oh,
thousands
no.
of dollars. Like,
Yeah, yeah. For me, that's thousands of
Yeah,
dollars.
I've spent easily probably well, most of my rare emblems are charity, so I don't have any
Yeah,
problem
man.
with that. But people with Mega Galactic or
I love my emblem, dude.
Hi,
Yeah,
Zen.
that actually came in recently. The Bungie did a really good. How they handled that emblem specifically was really well because it was only through like an account linking type of thing. It was
Yeah.
no codes whatsoever,
but you
so
can
it cannot be
also
shared.
but you can kind of cheese it by getting a team together.
No. It was only given out to the
Could
leaders.
you?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I swear
No.
to God, I heard somebody say that
So
you
emblems
could.
went out the other day,
Oh,
and it's only at 65 right now.
oh,
And there
okay.
are lots and lots of teams. And before it was at 25 or 30.
Yeah.
So roughly only 20 or 25 people have it right now. And I'm glad to be one of those people and, support Bungie like that because I think in gaming terms and charity stuff, they're doing really good stuff. The scholarships and medical supplies for COVID stuff and
The
a lot of
yeah
good stuff,
the
man. I
annual
really
St.
respect what they're
Jude
doing.
the
Yeah.
annual St. Jude stuff, the Bungie Foundation, all of that. That I still have tremendous respect for Bungie as a company because they actually give back to worthy causes.
That's why
So
I didn't really mind forking over the large donation amount required for Metagalactic because it was like a win-win situation. I, get to support a great cause and get a cool emblem for it, and they get to use that money for whatever they need for good reasons.
I'd like to
Yeah.
say there with that as well. Some people got pissed at you for that, which is
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous.
yeah, a
Because
lot of people got really
people-
angry with
because
Emperor
another
Dory
thing-
Thought I
and
paid for it.
myself.
People
Yeah,
thought
but-
I
yeah,
only
but-
paid for it for the emblem. And
Yeah,
not,
no,
like,
but
a
here's,
good
here's another
cause.
thing. How is that different to like a charity auction where people go
Right,
and
yeah.
they're bidding for like paintings or whatever, and you might say that their main goal isn't giving money to charity; it's to get some item.
Yeah.
Like how
Like, it
how
doesn't
is
really
that
matter
different?
anyways,
And yeah, and even past that, at the end
Yeah.
of the day, you're giving money to charity, no matter what
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
motives are.
exactly. If
I mean,
I
I've
didn't want
had
to,
lots of people come after me.
Yeah.
One of them being an Icelia member, I believe.
who now?
I
You know,
I-
I
yeah,
remember
it was interesting.
I gave up trying to get movie of
Sticks.
the week
Yeah.
back in
Yeah.
year one. We did solo flawless all year one raid bosses back to back, no guns, and I thought for sure that was gonna win movie of the week, and it didn't. Some stupid art video thing did. So I was like,
You
fuck it. I
remember-
just haven't done it since.
Faldo lost movie of the week. He did solo Queen's Walk, which is obviously a glitch, right? Finisher glitch. But he lost movie of the week to somebody baking a boss in Altar of Sorrows.
Remember Two Man Dogs movie of the week?
Not really. All I
that-
remember is that I swear to God, at least a quarter of the movie of the weeks, it's either somebody dying in a really stupid way or a PvP montage.
The funniest movie of the week ever is with TB, where he had an idea where it's a hard knock life, and it was him getting physics killed in really weird ways. He
Oh, I
uploaded
remember that.
submitted it as movie of the week. 3 days later, someone uploads the same thing in the exact same music, submits it as movie of the week. They get it, he doesn't.
Oh my
That
God.
Movie of the
that-
week is an interesting thing, man.
Yeah.
I
Total
went for
bullshit
it before. I
sometimes.
went for it was way back. It was just remember the Guardian games? No, it was the giant green glowing cloak thing.
Yeah,
Cloak.
Yeah.
Oh, the
it
blind,
was
the
yeah.
shader
So
that
I made a
blinds you.
video on that with a couple friends, and I'm like, "Oh, this is so cool! It's gonna win," and it didn't win. I was like, "All right, well, whatever." A lot of people work for it longer than that, and then I
Yeah.
teamed up with Fragment, and we made that awesome the Blair Witch Queen project
Mm.
video. It was a really good video. It was a lot of fun,
I feel like
and
my
we
movie of the
won.
week
And then I
was
won art
ki-
the same day. Actually, that was
I
pretty
thought
cool.
my movie of the week was kind of really lucky because it was with Shinzi, and it was and it was well, it's just that it was a Shinzi, and he's got a decent following on Twitter and has a good reach. And the idea was solid. It's one that he's won movie of the week with like 4 times before, which is the exact same thing but in Garden. And
Oh, the Titans. Yeah.
yeah. We just did that. That was funny to just do.
Never won movie of the week. I wonder what it's like.
It's a
Same,
cool
I'm
feeling,
pissed.
man. But you just it the problem with the emblem community is that they look way too deep into it. And you can see the same about me, but I have my lines. I have my, I guess borders with that type of shit and emblems in general. But a lot of people lose their mind over those emblems, dude. And I saw that with the whole forum situation.
Yeah.
They're willing to, throw the whole reputation of being a collector, quote unquote, down the drain for
I found that
emblems
funny,
like that.
honestly. For me, I know it's a shitty take compared to how you view it, but for me, I'm not like shitting on your take. It's just a game to me, so I just
Yeah,
find
yeah.
that funny. I don't know why.
Well,
I mean-
we
I don't know
spend
why
so
it's
much
funny.
time
It's crazy,
invested
man.
in this game. It almost like this is gonna sound super pathetic, but I don't know what I'm gonna do when Destiny's not a game anymore.
You're not wrong. I feel like that's the same for a lot of people with other games, like people who play WoW all the time, or like
Right.
or like old school RuneScape. Like when games like that don't have support, and like
Yeah.
you've got tens to hundreds of thousands of people like who've
Yeah.
played those games, have thousands of hours in those games. Like,
Mhm.
what are they gonna do?
There's people with
you're not
30,000 CS:GO hours.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's like with Destiny emblems, it's kind of weird. Like you'll be playing like Crucible or like whatever, and you'll see someone with an emblem, and you can kind of tell based off what emblem they've got on, what kind of
Yeah.
player they're going to be.
Yeah.
Like
Some of the
a lot of
time-
PvP players love those. They are actually a big fan of account share emblems. It's,
yeah, they are.
Yeah, of course
They're
they
a
are.
massive fan.
very fake emblems there.
Because how else are they gonna flex on their face at opponents?
You just gotta, spend $10 on it versus, getting it from the source or, don't recommend this, but buying on eBay. So
No,
It's
I
like
I
common
actually tried to
ones.
talk a friend out of buying a fluid resonance code off of eBay.
not a good idea nowadays, bro. It's really not.
But
The
I mean,
emblem
she ended up
inflations
doing
are
it, which
crazy.
is, and it wasn't a scam, so I'm just happy about
Yeah.
that.
I'm
So,
I'm
like-
lucky enough to never gotten scammed before with certain stuff.
I never
common-
actually. You know how the electromagnet thing with the emblem for getting all the ghosts
Yeah.
in the GCX
Yeah.
space station?
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
logged
boy.
in, and there was obviously the whole thing was super infamous for having lots of technical issues and doxing people.
It was a complete disaster.
It was
I got
it was
doxxed for
so-
that emblem, dude.
it was awful, right? But I never ended up getting around to finding all of the ghosts, but I still ended up with the emblem.
Yeah, so I have insight on that they ended up giving up on trying to make it work, and they just gave an emblem to everyone who bought a ticket.
Right, but there's not. But there's only 1,200 people in existence. There's only 1,200 of those emblems in existence.
Yeah.
Surely more than 1,200 people bought tickets to Guardian Con.
No.
Or-
Really? If you do see more, well, it's more of like a thing. They would buy the ticket to the virtual event, and people see a virtual event, they're like, "Fuck that! I don't want to go to
Yeah.
a virtual event. That's stupid." You're just basically playing a game at that point. You might as well just go play Destiny with your friends. you know?
It would have
So,
been really cool
not
to see them
surprised.
I think a
implement.
lot of people
Guardian-
refunded tickets when they saw it
I
was a
did.
virtual
I got
event.
doxxed for
Yeah.
that shit, bro. I refunded. They still gave me my emblem code. So
Yeah,
like,
no,
thank
I'm
you
not
guys.
talking about. I'm talking about like before that. Like people who actually wanted to go to Guardian Con would have just refunded their tickets when they saw it wasn't going to happen IRL. They're like, okay,
Right.
cool. I just
But
don't
they
want to go
also-
anymore. I don't care.
They also covered the cost of the following year, which is this year as well.
Yeah.
So you still get to go to GCX 2022.
Mhm.
Like the
It's in
expenses
Florida,
of
I
it,
believe.
the
yeah.
expenses. Yeah, it's in Tampa.
Orlando. It's in
Or-
Orlando, I believe.
Orlando? Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always in Tampa or some shit, right? Like I think
Yeah,
back in
it's
D1 it was always in
somewhere.
Tampa, right?
What?
I swear it was Orlando. I read on the website.
No, I
'Cause I
think
actually did buy a ticket.
Okay,
to-
here I'll
It's,
look
it's
it up
wherever
really
Rose and
quick.
Shingle Creek is.
Right, the Rosen.
I have a very weird topic that I wanted to talk about too. Feels weird for like a bunch of dudes to talk about. I don't know why. Worst date experience.
It
We
isn't-
have that one.
It is in Orlando, confirmed.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
yeah, I knew what it was.
Worst.
I've never been to
is-
Florida in my life, so
I've been there twice, and for the same reason, which is car shows. So
Those-
I have some pretty good experiences there, but it's wild. Driving there is way different than where I live in Minnesota. They're so much more aggressive.
I don't
but
have
dating
too much.
experiences.
I have
I don't
two.
really have any, so
I don't have too much to
Bad
share,
ones,
but
at
I'll.
least.
Okay, well, I just
Want
read
me
in
to go
Discord.
first? You go first, Ginger. I have two
I-
dates.
I'll go first. I just. This is completely out of context, and it's
We
not
should
going to
have
be useful
TV
for
on here
anyone.
just for this.
Yeah, it's not going to be useful. We should get him on.
surprise
Well, want me
guest.
to tell me to ping real quick, see if he wants to join in quickly?
It just get him to join the Discord
He-
real
he-
quick.
he-
It's
he's not
basically making a
online,
phone call
but
on the podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
but just real quick, it's completely out of context. Will make no sense for anyone else. Just check clan chat. There's
No,
context
no, it's
for
okay.
this.
We don't have to. I was fucking around.
I
Yeah,
didn't see
but-
anything in clan chat.
But
Oh, no.
but for me, it's nothing like major. It's more that I was expecting it to be more than it was. I was like kind of hoping like it'd be a nice nice little lunch outing, and it would be nice like just like a nice little lunch out with someone. But instead, we ended up just going on a walk for like an hour.
Was it? But walks are banging though.
Yeah,
When
but it
you're with
wasn't.
somebody you can have a good conversation with.
Yeah, but it wasn't, and they
Oh.
weren't good at conversation.
Oh no.
They were boring.
Yeah. But,
Oh, God, that's the worst.
fuck. Like they couldn't hold a conversation. It was really bad. It kind
Was
of.
it? Could you tell it was pain for like her as well, or was it just for you?
I think it was more just pain for me because I think she was just like happy.
You think
to-
she was aware
For
of
someone?
that?
yourself or something.
Yeah.
She might not have been aware that she was being dreadfully boring, which I've done that accidentally too. So.
It's not like dreadfully boring. It's more the fact that like the replies were to like questions or like whatever.
I felt like an
It
interview.
was-
right?
Yeah,
I felt like
It
an interview.
wasn't-
Right.
It didn't.
Right.
It wasn't that it felt like an interview. It's just that they weren't really like full sentences. It would be like, or like even acknowledgements. It was just cursed. It was just cursed.
It was just like the bare minimum to get you to move on to the next talking point. Yeah.
That always
Yeah,
does, man.
and like I couldn't get home
can
any
relate to
sooner because I had to wait for a bus. It's like it's kind of.
I feel like everyone's guilty of
write
that
it
though,
out.
too. At least
Yeah.
once or twice.
Yeah,
But it
and
happens, you know.
it's like I imagine that would happen. Like you're just not really vibing with somebody, but you don't really want to tell
Yeah.
them in the middle of the date.
It's like the energy. of the
Unfortunate.
person, yeah.
The thing is, we'd been talking for a while before, and like it was,
Yeah.
and then we finally meet up, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, this isn't great. Okay,
Yeah.
I
then-
remember.
They're a
oh, my
lot
bad.
more different.
oh, go on then. No, you go on.
Yeah.
I remember this isn't the date, but I remember once I was talking to this chick for like 2 weeks, and I was trying to get her to open up to me, not in the sense of like sexually, just like mentally, like
Well,
conversation wise, I
Now
wanna
I'm thinking about it sexually.
Oh yeah, I
Cole.
want to like know her, And then
Yeah.
every time I text her, it was like, "How's your day?" She goes, "Good." So like after a while, I was like,
no.
"Okay, I'm getting the message. She's not interested. I'm not gonna pursue her. I'm gonna respect her, leave her alone." And then she messages me like a week later. She's like, "Why'd you lead me on? Why'd you just stop messaging me?" And I'm like, "Bro, you
What
were.
the-
I was. It was an interview. Like you just gave me one word responses. I was like, what am I supposed to do with that?"
Yeah.
I agree with you there, Cole. I
Yeah.
always try.
Yeah, they
and,
do that. I
like-
don't want to say they do that because
Yeah,
at
Hey,
least in my
civilization, yeah.
experiences, like I've had a lot of girls tell me I led them on, and I just didn't feel like there was anything there, or like for example, like
Yeah.
it was just me talking and them listening. And, like I hate
Yeah.
feeling like I'm the only one talking. I want to hear you talk.
It's a two-way street, man. You gotta
It would
both,
be-
both parties have to put in the work if they
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to like,
you have to
make something
be,
happen.
try to engage, at
This
least
is not
engage the
an incel
person.
podcast, right? We are good men.
No,
right?
this is not.
Yeah, no, we love women.
I,
We-
I
we
love
love-
women.
Don't say that. That makes
We
it
love-
worse. One thing I'd like to.
No, that sounds
See.
even worse.
Look,
Yeah,
we're
we
never
love
gonna get a
women
woman on
here,
this
don't
podcast.
worry.
dude.
Just
We're
the
gonna-
hysterical laughing after like, oh, we love women.
And they're just all.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've had that like happen 3 separate times, and each time I'm like, do you like not have a personality? Were you not trying? Or are you just awkward? Or is it just an
I think
uncomfortable
it's
thing?
I think it's that, to be honest, they
Used to
again,
us
this,
always trying, maybe? I don't
again
know.
this
Yeah.
just sounds fucked.
It could be that, or just the fact that
We're on a podcast, man. We're pretty far in already. It's fine.
Yeah,
So
we're-
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
too far
like,
into
podcasts are meant to
the.
be conversations, right, man? Like,
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's the fact that sometimes you'll be talking and
It just feels like she
you're
wants you to be
you're
only talking, you know?
you're expected to
Carry.
be all, to carry the conversation. Like you've got to be the funny one. Like you're putting in the hard work. I mean, fair play. Like I imagine girls on apps get about 500,000 messages every nanosecond. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's
Right.
constant, and
My,
you've got to.
Because men are horny.
My ex,
think
I
it's like
had
a
her
traditional
create a
thing,
Tinder
man.
account so I could like just see how it was, and I'd go on the Tinder account for her, and it was just you'd go on there, and like I'm not shitting you, within like she was a good-looking girl too. Within like 5 seconds, it was only like 10 matches. That's insane.
Yeah, no, I've
It's
seen that shit
a
as
lot.
well. I've got friends who've shown me it, and it's crazy. I'm like, okay, I kind of understand what it's like now. Why you've got to be fucking a stand-up comedian extraordinaire or something like that.
most
Like,
Yeah.
interesting
I'm not
motherfucker
trying-
on this planet,
Because
bro.
we also shouldn't take away what women go through either on those apps, just in dating.
Yeah.
Because like they deal with a lot of asshole men. They
Oh,
really
Yeah,
do.
there's
It's really
100%.
hard to trust us.
you have to be cagey nowadays, a lot more than you used to, because you have a lot more it's a lot more lenient online rather than in person, which is where a lot of dating happens now, or like at least meeting up with people,
I
getting
pick
to
up
know
chicks
them.
in the library. That's my go-to spot. I talk about it in the clan chat a lot. Like I'll be like, yeah, I picked up this Ginger. Remember the tall brunette? at the library?
yeah,
I got
The,
a happy ending from her. But
Okay,
she
we
was
didn't
really-
need to know that.
She was. No, this is the thing though. I don't know if she wasn't interested or if she felt like she had to do that. But like, she was like the most like unenthusiastic person ever. I was like, it's just she just sounds dead inside talking to me, and I'm like,
So she's like a titan, right? Like just nothing,
yeah,
just a body.
no, stop putting words in my mouth.
I'm not trying.
if
I'm
you're
sorry.
careful,
It's just
not
a
really
case-to-case
anything
basis.
going
Yeah,
there.
it just
man.
felt like she
Yeah.
had no
Yeah.
interest in me, and it felt like really turned
It's
me off.
real
the
life
entire
RNG,
time.
bro. Just gotta player
Yeah.
RNG, right? You know.
Yeah, she was a
Yeah.
real green loot person. Green engram
It was a blue
person.
drop, dude.
Very
Yeah, it was a rare blue quality person.
All right, the dates. So this shit's kind of funny. I'll start with the kind of funny one, and I'll start with the weird one. I was on a date with someone. This was like when I first got out of boot camp. I was like, I'm gonna go talk to a chick. I'm Navy, big man, you know. So
You've got
I
an
went out
advantage
this-
there.
No, it was another military chick.
Real boot behavior, right?
Just fucking born a date her, right? And she just starts making goat noises. At the table, very loudly, and people are looking at us. And keep in mind, she's very like she's not what you think a person who would just start making goat noises would look like. She's not
Well,
just like
what do you think they would look like, huh?
blue hair, maybe.
goat?
I don't know.
Did you check for a camera anywhere? Did you see like a hidden camera
I
anywhere?
could have been.
maybe?
I might have been on. a
Dude, that
prank
sounds
with
like a
jokers.
YouTube video, bro.
Dude, but
Yeah.
no, she starts making goat noises, right? So I laugh awkwardly because I didn't know how to address it. And I think that encouraged her more. So she started doing it louder. And as I'm looking around, I see the waitresses laughing in the background. I see the cooks laughing. And then she asked me, "Do you want a sheep with me?" And I realized she didn't make goat noises with her. So then after that restaurant was over, I said what we were going to do. I took her to the movies after. And then I'm driving her home. She goes, "That's all?" And I was like, I do not want to do anything with her. She's already weirded me out so much. So
Dude, I can't
I-
imagine
I-
what she's gonna ask for in the bed. You wanna
Yeah,
do
no,
some goat shit, bro?
I drove her to the back of the parking lot at night. And I
Oh,
wouldn't
God.
do anything, so I just started talking about our life and family, and she just completely changed topics. So I was like, thank God, she's talking about her dad. I was like, thank God.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
But yeah, then I drove her home, and she never messaged me back, so I never messaged her back. So I think it was fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a good
well.
ending to that, you know.
Then the
You
other
know,
one,
as far as endings go, that's not terrible.
Yeah.
I was
It's usually the
respectful
most
about it. I
tame
didn't shit
one.
talk her
yeah.
at all. I just found how she, cause like save that for like the third date or something. Not so like goat making. I don't know. It was just
When you know someone, it's fine to like mess around like that. Like,
Right.
I just make weird noises. Like, I sometimes do that with like friends, like on
Yeah.
Discord or whatever. I'll just start doing weird shit,
there's a
and
time
then
and place.
it's fine
Yeah,
because people
you have
know.
to know the person.
Yeah, you have to know the person before you go and start making fucking goat noises in a restaurant.
So what do y'all think of vegans?
vegans.
Oh boy, man.
I went on a date with a
honestly-
vegan.
I think the vegans the vegans that you hear about are not good representatives of
Yes.
the vegan movement
I can
because
agree with that. Yeah.
it's a noble cause
This-
represented by the wrong people.
This one was an asshole. She was she was so good looking. This was the thing that upset me. So this is.
Oh no,
so-
she's hot.
No, this is the this is the thing that
But
upset
she's
me.
vegan. No.
No, this is the thing that upset me. So she shows up to the date and she's high, and now I'm like, fuck. No matter
Oh,
what happens,
Christ.
I'm not gonna pursue anything after that because she's high. You know, so I'm not gonna do anything. So that just and then anyway, she went on a date, and then she goes, you know, dogs. Would you eat your dog? And I was like, no. Then she
What?
goes, why do you eat meat then? And I was like, because it tastes good.
Boy.
Then she goes, I don't want to watch you put meat in your mouth. Can you get something vegan? So I was like, fuck it. Okay, let's just get this over with. So I got like this veggie wrap or some shit like that. It had no meat in it. And after the date, I drove her back. She didn't want me to know where she lived, so she asked me to drop her off in like a place that was near her house. So I was like, fair enough. I'm just some random guy from Tinder. And so as I'm gonna tell her like, yeah, goodbye. I awkwardly wait for like 5 seconds. She's just staring at me, and I'm like, oh, she wants me to do something. So I reached over to her and opened the door for her. And then she just starts yelling at me. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
Fuck.
yeah, she's high and yelling at me. I've never seen that before. And then she just started calling me like racist, white, homophobic, and I was like, we weren't talking about any of that, dude. I
That's
was
when
like,
you skirt out of there, bro. You just fucking zoom
wild.
off.
well, I
Yeah.
Talking-
messaged her. I was like, did you get home safe? And when I did, it said pending. So I was like,
Oh no.
It's a good thing, man. You dodged the
Talking
bullet,
about-
honestly.
Talking
Yeah.
about
she couldn't
You
handle
should-
it.
you should-
high.
Yeah, you don't
So-
get to. Yeah, you don't get to like. You shouldn't be upset about that at all.
I mean, she
I'm
was
not
also
just-
high, so I wasn't planning on doing anything with her.
Yeah.
Because the second
Yeah.
she showed up high, I was kind of upset. I'm like, fuck, now I really can't do
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
Under the influence.
No, but talking
Honestly,
about
I would
being
have just
high.
left.
Talking
Same,
about
man.
being
It's
high.
Like,
Waste
like
of
if you
time,
if you show up to a first date like that, regardless of whether or not you're both stoners, that's just inappropriate.
Yeah.
And then what pissed me off was I'm a very safe driver. I don't speed around. I use turn signal. I stop. She said randomly, I don't feel safe with you driving. And right then and there, I just wanted to punch her. I was like, don't you fucking talk about my driving. I was so pissed off because I see how other people drive, and I drive
You should
very
have just floored it immediately.
slow. Should just crashed into a building and just killed us both, dude. I was like,
Nah.
I feel safe now.
Right in the red light.
Yeah, you'll feel safe in the arms of the angels.
Talking about being high, I was a couple months ago. I was talking to someone outside one of my college buildings over lunch, and he was smoking something. I don't know what it was at the time, but like he was blowing all the smoke in my face. I was like, this is pretty standard because just people do it. It's like most of the time I just put up with it. Most of the time it's like a vape or whatever, so it just kind of smells funky. But this didn't really smell much. And then for the rest of the day, he was smoking weed just outside of school in the UK, which isn't really something that a lot of people do, but it's not like in America where it's legal. So he's just out there doing it, and for the rest of the day, I am fucking out of it. Like I was just stoned in all my classes for the rest of the day. I just didn't mean to be.
I'm very straight edge, bro. I don't really do shit.
No, neither do I. But it wasn't intentional. I was just standing talking to a guy that I'd known for a
Secondhand
while.
high.
Yeah,
That used to be the most annoying thing walking around campus in between classes, is just walking behind someone that vapes constantly.
yeah.
Just a big cloud of vapor in your face the whole time. It's just
Smell like strawberries, dude.
I would love
normal.
after I get out of the military to just like grab a joint and just smoke it for the White House because I can't do that now. So-
Willie Nelson did that. You're not Willie Nelson. You're not Willie
Well,
Nelson, dude.
I can't do it legally now, so I would like to do it legally when I get out
Someday.
someday, like
I think.
3.5 years roughly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it.
see,
Yeah.
I can't smoke because I have asthma.
Oh no.
You know, Pokemon's my girlfriend, so she's saving all the joints for me.
You,
the simping?
you say that you can't smoke when you have asthma, which is very fair, but there's someone in one of my classes who has asthma but vapes, and his asthma is like bad. It's like if he walks up the stairs, he needs his inhaler. Like it's
Oh.
bad.
Yeah.
He smokes.
Like,
See,
I
it
don't
does-
wanna-
like,
That's
no
probably
matter
why
how.
it's that bad.
I know.
I don't want to get that bad, so I don't smoke.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't smoke regardless of whether or not you have asthma.
This is a weird topic. Like, how does asthma work out with sex? Like, is that just like, do you have like an asthma attack during sex?
Jesus Christ.
Is that insensitive to ask? Like, I don't.
Like, do you have to take? Do you have to like take?
I hold up on
breaths,
ending my
breaths of your
asthma.
inhaler in between going in between the cheeks.
Between
I
pumps,
was
dude.
Yeah.
So my
Pumps
family's
between
like
pumps.
really
Something.
Catholic, so
Oh, no.
I was always raised with the belief of no sex before marriage.
Yeah.
So I still hold on to that belief.
Okay, that's fair.
Respect.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm just a slut.
No, I
Hey,
see a lot
you
of
do
people
you.
that
I
underestimate
don't care
that.
what everybody else
No,
does.
yeah, no. I,
Yeah, that's an attitude I like to hear. Not enough people aren't. Too many people give a shit about other people
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what they do.
I don't get
man.
paid enough to care what someone else does, unless it directly affects someone else or a group of
I
people.
yeah,
only,
no,
I only,
You know.
Like,
I only
yeah,
care whenever you're walking in front of me and vaping. That's
yeah.
the only time I care.
that,
or
yeah, that's kind of
actually, or like
insensitive.
actually smoking cigarettes. Like if you're like walking around smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes, and like that's just annoying being behind someone who's
That is
smoking because
disgusting.
The
yeah.
smell and also the fact that secondhand smoke it kills almost as many people as smoking.
yeah, I hold my breath, and that's about it. But like,
If somebody's smoking next to the door, I hold my breath and I walk past them.
Now,
Yeah.
Simp, what is this graphic server grade you're talking about?
Oh
So you
yeah,
talked
well,
about the emblems.
basically,
Okay, it wasn't so much of a raid as I made
it
it
wasn't
out to
really a
be.
raid. It was just like some trolling operation, right? So, the people that, well, I guess it was just the person, and then like some other people already in there.
Two of his burners. I
Yeah.
think.
So, it's this guy. I'm not even gonna say his name because he's like 15, and he's just
He's a minor.
really he's mentally ill, I would say.
Damn.
Basically, he just came in here because Mint, another graphic member, and Cole, also a graphic member, they were facing against him and the guy's friend. And apparently they were playing like really annoying against him, but it's Crucible, so everyone plays like shitters in some way. So, it's kind of it's a subjective thing, I guess you could say. But basically, he got mad and he started coming in here to troll, and then everyone just kind of felt sorry for him. And then I showed up, and me and him have history because back when I did the donation, this kid was one of them that was like, "Oh, when you spend $2,500 on an emblem," and basically, and went on this hate graphic raid and all that. But he basically came in here just like a back and forth thing, and eventually, like after we just roast him and like basically he runs out of shit to say, he just starts shit posting like all types of memes
And Twitter or
and
Discord?
then
Discord.
Discord.
server.
Discord.
Okay, strap. Did
Yeah.
this leave Discord or was it only in Twitter?
This was all in Discord, and it took place in the Destiny chat, I believe. In
I didn't hear
graphic,
about any of this, dude.
it just
How-
happened a bunch, and then it ended up the memes turned into racism and then homophobia,
Yeah,
and
he
it was fucked. And
Yeah,
basically.
you know when you don't have a leg to stand on, you start saying things like racism, homophobia.
I mean, he's
that,
what, 15?
those are things you say when
he's
you run out
15,
of ammo.
so I'm not necessarily
Yeah,
surprised.
he'll-
But
No, I understand. I'm just saying like you can really tell in general when people run out of ammo.
He'll
They
most
But
start
likely
it's
learn
the
in,
main
like, 4
thing-
years or some shit. Cause
like the main thing with this is that he tried to use some dumb shit against me, where he's like, "You tried to get me banned out of Defy's server," which I did because he's being a shitter. But I didn't realize this was Defy's good friend, and like he protects these kind of people. So that was the kind of thing that was like, all right, that's kind of weird to me. But it's not my business on who he associates with, and I just block him and move on after I have my fun with them.
He'll,
something similar happened in the Euro server over a Gambit match.
recently.
Oh no, dude.
Gambito crime family.
not-
this.
Not recently,
Gambit
like
drama.
last year, I think. It wasn't to this extent of like memes and stuff. He just joined in general and started shit talking because he won a Gambit match against somebody in the clan.
We occasionally get stuff like that where it's like because we got the server boosted. We got the clan link in the description on Bungie, so people in game can view it and just join the Discord. Like after Crucible sessions, something like that. Occasionally you'll just see people join the Discord and then they'll say nothing and leave, or they'll post one thing and then leave. Like,
Well, yeah.
yeah, or like
Have
just
we
ping someone.
I
have
just
we
gotta.
considered posting?
I just
Oh,
gotta.
sorry. I was gonna say the Ginger. Have you considered putting up like a? I think isn't there a way to gatekeep the server access to the server in some way? Like you have to sign like a
Oh yeah, no, there is that's
an
already
agreement to the
that's already
rules
yeah,
before you.
that's already a thing.
Is it?
Um,
Oh,
yeah, it's just
okay. Well,
that
that's good. Yeah.
yeah, it just doesn't it doesn't really
It's,
matter.
it's like the terms and services,
Right,
Yeah,
don't
like you
read
have to
Yeah,
agree to
yeah,
server TOS and
yeah,
whatnot.
but they leave like we've got a chat that you can't see that says when people leave the server, and
Yeah.
like sometimes people will join the server, stay in it for like 2 seconds, and then leave. Like they'll literally just join it off of the link and then leave.
I
I didn't. Yeah.
I just got a message from a Snapchat bot saying, "Hello, I'll love to get your bills and debt paid, and also I'll get a weekly allowance of $500 twice a week. Can I be
Those
your
are the
sugar
best.
mama, dear?"
Dude,
Those are the
take it.
best.
Isn't
Take it,
Sugar
bro.
Mama? Isn't
Let's
a
go.
Sugar Mama supposed to give you money?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not.
That's what it's saying.
It's they typed it up incorrectly because they can't do
Yeah.
English.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
probably some Indian text scammer, It's
Yeah.
the usual
Mhm.
shit.
Some scammer from
it's really.
some.
I'm gonna lead them on while we talk
It's.
about shit.
I always
Just
do that
say
with Snapchat.
yes, mommy. There we go.
Very cold of you.
Yeah, I love. I talked about this in I think Emma's stream. Wait, no, was it Emma's? I think it was Emma's or Taylor's, or someone else's. I don't want to say names, but I was like, I'll just DM enough women, mommy, and then someone will actually be into it, and then there I go. Like on Hinge,
Uh,
I'll just have the pictures, and I'll
Yep.
just
Yeah.
DM
Yeah.
mommy, and no one's. I don't know. Like it takes
No
like
one's
50
replying.
people, but like one person will say back, and they'll be into it. I'm like, bet.
I've started doing that now as well.
It works. 'Cause
Statistically, it
chicks
makes
like,
sense.
It does.
some girls just like being called mommy, bro. It's so funny.
I
I've
wonder,
had that.
so
I've had that work
calling
once. Yeah.
just having being called little PogChamp or something.
Give
Oh,
me head
God.
pats, bro.
Yeah. It's just,
Are we getting into simping now?
Oh
On
yeah, women
that
we
we
would
didn't
simp
have
for.
before?
is that
Yeah.
our? I think. Well, we already.
That's like almost. I
Yeah.
think that's like.
Almost the last
Yeah.
topic. Yeah.
I'm just gonna start up right out the gate. Ariana Grande, 100%.
Bella Rowland. She is. She does some acting. I would simp for her. She's a very she's a very tall 6'1" brunette woman with yeah.
Brunettes are the way to go, man.
I know, I love
Hell
brunette.
yeah.
But I'm not in the tall because I'm already like 6'6", and it would be weird.
Jesus.
If
Gaming.
I want to be like I love with the titties.
So
See,
yeah. Wait. So
more into
how tall?
shorter.
How tall are you again?
I'm 5'9".
Oh, okay. So you're all.
Aw.
6'1" chick,
Yeah.
bro. I'm like literally right there. I could just put my nose in it.
Yeah.
it's like I'm 6'1", and I'll occasionally see people go on like in their bios, oh, you better be taller than me, and then I ask them how tall they are, and they're like, I'm 5'9", and I'm like, okay, and
Bruh.
like,
I don't care
Okay.
about size in general though. Like you could be small, you could be tall. I don't get how people are picky about it. I think
Wouldn't it
people are
be
weird.
some girls
super?
are.
Which
I
is
feel like
standard.
if I were an enormous guy, I would be scared of breaking a little like 5 foot tall woman.
That's how I'm feeling.
Zeb?
But it's like I'm also very careful. All right, I'm a
Yeah.
gentle giant, as people like to
Yeah.
say.
Zeb
Yeah.
knows his own
Fee,
strength.
fi, fo.
Yeah, I
Slowly.
actually do. I don't want to fucking murder people, bro, just because I'm having fun.
Yeah, it just
Yeah, it's like my uncle's 6'6", so I've got
the
a
drill bit
visual.
too big for the hole.
I've got a visual reference for how tall 6'6" is, and like it makes like seeing someone 6'6" in real life makes me at 6'1" feel short, which is really weird. Like it's
Yeah.
weird to
Yeah,
feel
man. A
to
lot
feel
of
short.
dudes are like intimidated, and I'm like, listen, man. I don't care if my friends are like 4'2", goblin mode, but it's like,
Yeah, you can. It just makes them easier to give head pats to. Like,
Yeah,
oh no, I've never done that to anybody. I think I would probably get shot or something. If I did it to the wrong person, yeah.
even if they're your friends.
Yeah, give me head
Nah.
pats, Zimp.
Dude, if you ask for it,
Oh
I'll give you
yeah,
a head
boys,
pat.
are we
It's all good.
going to GCX? I've never been. I've never been. I'm interested
If
in.
people actually plan, I'd go. I just need to know because
I'm already going to so many places
Oh
in the
shit!
summer, so I can't really like take off a lot of time from
I
work.
believe it's like the last weekend of June. I could be wrong. I don't remember.
I'm already traveling to Florida in May.
Oh, nice, nice.
GCX is difficult for any EU, bro.
Oh yeah,
Because
I've been meaning to ask you guys because I know TB said he wanted to go, but I know that international travel must be a bitch right now.
TB's
Yeah.
wanted to go to GCX for the last like couple years, but it's like fair.
Oh,
It's
this is
just
the first time I've ever heard him talk about it, so
it's
I didn't
I don't know.
know.
It's been a thing he's wanted to do for ages. It's just it's difficult to do for any EU people because it's not only it was annoying is like for hotels and stuff in America
Right.
you have to be 21 to rent a room.
Yeah.
Oh, so like
Which
what
is really cursed.
but in
Coming from,
theory,
the
what
UK
if
or
like
whatever.
I or somebody else who's over 21 rented an Airbnb?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I've had friends from the UK who've done that. Like, well,
I
we
thought
had
Airbnb was you had to be older, right?
yeah, no, but like I had a friend a couple years ago who was 19 at the time, but he just stayed in an Airbnb with a bunch of
Hmm.
people who'd already got it rented that just had extra space. It's
Oh,
like stuff
nice.
like that is stuff that a lot of people do.
Hmm.
Or you could have someone that's already 21 just rent the hotel for you.
And you pay
Yeah.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
my
you just
friend's doing
just
that for me
give
in
them.
Florida.
Hmm.
Since I'm
Yeah,
only 20.
I'm very interested in going. The fact my work has its fiscal year reset in the middle of May, so I don't know. And also, I just requested a bunch of days off in a row for Witch Queen, so I don't really want to go back to my boss and ask her if I can take more time off right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use all
Okay,
my PTO for Witch Queen, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Well, I have I have the week of the raid off, but I also have the previous 3 days off as well because I'm going to a wedding in New York. So I just have 9 straight days off, which is gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
I'm quite lucky with my school. I've got the week off of school, just not because I asked for it. We've just got a week off school, and
Just happens
Witch
to
Queen.
line up.
Yeah, it happens to
That's
line up
incredible,
perfectly.
dude.
So like, yeah, so my final day is on the 18th, and then I'm not
Nice.
back in until the next Monday. So I've got the whole week to just no life Witch Queen, and I've got no work to do at the moment either.
Nice.
Well,
I've
I
had
won't have
the
any work to
opposite.
do.
I've had the opposite of bad luck or of luck.
Yeah.
I am traveling upstate for a course for my career, like on the weekend, like the first 3 days, and then I get like home the night of the launch of the raid. So
Oh.
I'm like, I have like one friend, another friend that like could rally the troops and try to get me a clear, but I'm
On
not
your
really too
account?
bothered. No, I'm gonna be there.
Oh,
I would not do a recup on my account. I
got you.
would not trust even the closest of friends on my account.
I mean, that's fair.
Damn.
Mhm.
Is there? I think we've gone through everything, haven't we? Is there anything else you want to
I
talk
got
about?
nothing else, bro. I've said my drama about emblems and shit.
Oh,
Yeah, no good.
my chair story. I forgot to tell y'all
Yes.
Oh yeah.
that. So whenever you were showing how you could recline back and rest issues with my chair,
Yeah.
my old chair used to be like, those office chairs. So it was pleather and stuff. It would peel and stuff. I had to replace it anyway. So we were doing DSC speedruns and at A-Tracks, and there's a clip on Twitch of me going for A-Tracks, and I guess I leaned back to my chair, and the little recline thing, you had to pull it out to make the recline work. It must have like wiggled out just enough for it to happen. I guess I leaned back at the same time, and then I basically fell on my chair in the middle of the run. So
Oh, that's brilliant.
it was very loud.
That's
Yeah.
another thing.
I
That's
just think
another
of those
thing that-
rage videos of people just destroying their fucking setups.
Oh, that elite death guy who just fucking gets killed in PvP and like smashes his keyboard. That guy.
Keys flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Head green, head green, head green.
That's another thing that depresses me is seeing all of the D2 speedrun stuff just get nuked. Like I remember,
Yeah.
like with the DSC, Terra's solo new game plus, like that run when he got the sub hour was crazy to watch live because he basically world recorded every level back to back, like for a while it was, and it was just crazy. And then they removed, and then they said, "Oh yeah, we're removing story missions and all that." It's like, oh, cool. And then with
Yep. So
DSC,
that record will never be broken
and
ever
then with
again.
all no, but it's more the fact that it's not just that it can't be broken; it's the fact that you can't just even attempt it again. But then there's like with DSC, they've got all of the out the map dudes that you can use for extra damage, like divvying the captain to help people inside for better damage, and all
Right.
of the extra routes and stuff like that. It's annoying to speedrun a live service game, which is like I can see why you'd want to speedrun D1 more,
Yeah.
just because it's set in stone and
It's less of a hassle.
Yeah,
But-
it must be super annoying to be a moderator and having to constantly invent new rules because
So-
of just random season things.
There's something special with D1. D1, the SRC moderators best. I think they're on the younger side, so they're very easy on the ban hammer on SRC, and it's very weird. So nowadays people just ignore SRC for D1.
no, that's fair.
Fair. I understand that.
Yeah. I mean, D1 is, I feel like it's just in a kind of a perfect state where it can just be tear like torn down to the like its bones and have everything figured out, like
Right.
kind of like combining
I
taunting together.
recommend watching IRB. So I forgot what it stands for, but it's used in current Kingfall run.
Yeah.
It's one of the craziest glitches ever found. It's incredible. Basically, you clip through a wall, run back to a different load zone way in the back of the map. You die there, then you continue on with the raid, and you do a load death, which doesn't count as a death in the game, and then it spawns you on top of the map.
I've seen stuff like that in D2. There's the using the ice crystals, this like stasis crystals. You can force spawn points like that. But like with D1, like combining taunt glitching and like fucking power sliding to just
Power sliding's
absolutely
fun.
launch yourself. I remember when power sliding was found in year 3 and just doing it for fun, and going, this is just cool, and then seeing it incorporated in runs is crazy because it's just such a stupid thing to begin with.
There's one slide for ships on King's Fall called a Gerwin, and it's insane. It's very fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a part glitching too.
Now,
Part glitching is just
yeah.
Like I'm actually this kind of, I mean, it's kind of unrelated obviously to D1, but I'm kind of shocked that the return of Eager Edge hasn't rejuvenated the speedrunning community as much as I thought it would. I mean, I know it's getting, I know it's about to get nerfed, but at least it's not getting removed fully.
I think
It's
it's the
like
lack of
Bungie burned
content to run.
Yeah.
That's really turning people off.
I suppose there is
I-
a lack of content. Maybe
I was-
Witch Queen will help with that.
So to run Forsaken stuff and Beyond Light missions, well, Beyond Light missions are rerunnable to a degree. You have to delete your character.
Right. And that's
Just like-
a huge annoyance.
Yeah, just like I used to run adventures all the time, and those got removed, but you had to delete your character every time you wanted to redo that adventure.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Bungie
like-
seems to do their own thing when it
I
comes to
understand.
like missions like that. Right? In D1, the missions are always on the map, you know.
Mhm.
And then in D2, they kind of wanted to go their own way, which I respect. I like it when Destiny's being different. It's cool, but then they lose their roots a little bit from Destiny 1. You're talking to like one of the most Destiny 1 simps and graphic probably, but I'm just not more enthusiastic about it because I haven't played it recently because of the FPS and
Mhm.
yeah, but
Mhm.
I miss a lot of the stuff that Destiny 1 offered. There's just little things here and there that
Yeah.
was always
There,
nice.
there was
hey.
always a little bit of magic loading into the game that you
Hey,
just
That
don't get
nostalgia,
anymore.
baby.
Well, no, I mean,
His,
like, I just like I remember, I think I almost shed a tear watching the opening cutscene when I first bought the game. That feeling has never been replicated since
no.
then.
With
I
D1,
get-
I get this like gritty war feeling in it.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
doesn't happen anymore. Like
Yeah.
when they turned Cade into a main character, it got ruined. You know? Cade as a character was, you know, he's fine, but his role in Destiny 1 was the light and the dark as like the comic
Mhm.
relief, and turning them into the main character. And Forsaken took that like it was a niche that got turned into the main joke.
Mhm.
I feel like that just was not a good way to handle it.
Here's a fun thing to kind of draw things kind of to a close, but Bungie have said that they want to do reprised raids every year. What D1 raid do you want this year?
I think
Wrath.
we all know the answer to that.
Wrath. That's
Wrath.
what I've been
Wrath
on.
Machine?
That's all
Yeah.
that known.
Yeah.
I want King's Call.
Okay.
A lot of people want King's Fall.
A
and
lot of
Wrath.
people want
A lot of
King's
people
That
that
I feel like
Aren't,
it's
in my
50-50,
opinion.
man. Or it's
It's-
like 60-40, you know.
I would say more people would actually enjoy Wrath of the Machine more than King's Fall.
Yes.
Wrath of the Machine.
It's
Yeah,
It's
people
a
I just want
say
fun
they-
Siva.
raid. It's really.
I just want Siva and Siva weapons to grind for.
Wrath of the
I
Machine.
want Siva. That's all I
is-
want.
The only
it's
hard
just-
part about, I think one of the integral parts about how good Wrath of the Machine is, though, is the way the weapons weren't, the weapons weren't too much. They were just tuned as they're just literally altered versions of regular weapons, which
Also,
sounds boring on paper, but
they were
the way
god
they were
tier.
executed, they were really, really
They were
good
awesome.
primaries.
Sniper Ex
Ex-
Machina, dude.
Ex
The
Machina, the best
Ex Machina,
legendary DPS
They
sniper
had
in the game.
the machine gun was terrible, but the
If Materia, no, it wasn't.
yeah,
The
Wait, who
pulse
was
was good. I
Triple,
yeah, the
triple
pulse-
double.
the pulse and the scout were really
Pulse and
good.
Scout were amazing. Yeah, but I mean, Burning
The hand
Eye
cannon.
Gang.
Omega lol.
The hand cannon was the hand cannon was okay in PvP.
The shotgun
but
was pretty cool too, though.
yeah.
I remember that being good. Yeah.
But yeah, I
still
think
haven't got Nano Phoenix, dude.
I just
The
want to bake
trouble-
Axis in D1.
yeah,
in
or
D2.
Here's what
Wildfire.
I'm worried about. They're gonna change shit when they bring it over, and a lot of what made of that shit fun in D1 was it was broken.
right.
So if they bring it
The
over,
broken
they're gonna try to fix a lot of it. I feel like it's gonna ruin a lot of it.
I honestly
Like,
have
the
faith
way
in
Siva
Bungie and the
cannons are right now,
remastering.
The way Siva cannons right now, it's just not fun to bake Axis with Siva cannons. In
The
D1 it's
reason,
fun because
though-
you could time it
yeah.
up to be frame perfect. It's made like, there's different levels of baking. Like if you got your cannons frame perfect, you could shred that motherfucker. But like now it's just like you have to charge it all the way. It's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, the cannons are way different now.
I feel like-
I don't think that would make it fun. I really don't.
I just feel like I
have
want to
faith
play
in
it
Bungie. I do.
just because it's
I-
one of my
yeah.
favorite
With how
raid
Vogue went,
experiences.
It is my favorite raid.
What I was gonna say about the weapons though is that I think Bungie, because you can't have 3 perks on a weapon anymore, I think they'll have to fundamentally change how the weapons work.
Yeah.
And that might ruin sort of not really the synergy, but just the feel of the weapons, right? Like they were perfectly designed for the kind of raid that it was. It was an altered, like the altered Fallen making the altered guns, and it just felt so perfect.
Siva lore
I
is
worry
awesome.
that I worry that it's gonna get ruined in some way if they
I've
end
got
up bringing it back to D2.
I've got it up
Yeah.
here. We've got Ex Machina had wait for it. Reloading this weapon when the mag is empty grants a larger than normal magazine, which is clown cartridge.
Clown cartridge, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
So,
Josh is.
Well, it's different than cloud. It's slightly different than cloud
It
cartridge,
was,
but
yeah.
effectively
It
the
was just
same. Yeah.
And then you've got if Materia, the machine gun with triple tap, and then triple double, where every time triple tap gets procs, you get an extra bullet.
Shred
That was just
everything.
cool because it was just a bullet hose.
Oh, yeah, it would be
Mag
the
jump
new
everything.
Delirium for sure.
Yeah.
The issue with that being in D1, that archetype is just terrible
Yeah.
Yeah.
for damage.
Yeah. Because you could not
D2 wise it would be fine, but
And
D1
fun too, yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, also we forgot a wrath gun, Zeal Vector, the sidearm.
The side, yeah. There's a good
Don't
reason
talk
we
about
forgot
that.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It's kind of like how nobody.
Sidearm.
Yeah.
Same. I looked at my vault.
Sidearms were released. and changed.
And the auto rifle. We didn't. The Genesis
God.
chain.
Auto
That
rifle
was
was
not
good.
bad though. That was
That
I thought
wasn't
that was
bad.
good.
Auto rifle was pretty damn good, to be
It
honest.
was like a 600 RPM, right?
It was
around there.
600
good.
Suros with
Chaos- okay.
with Firefly.
Chaos Dogma. Chaos Dogma had triple
Yes.
tap and triple double as well.
Right.
That was
Chaos
meta.
Dogma, although it was meta. I'm a Burning Eye adept simp.
Burning Eye Stan. Let's
Yeah, I'm a Burning Eye stan.
Yeah,
Like,
I used Burning Eye for all my Argo solos. It was good.
one
Argo
tap the
solos.
shank.
Yeah.
What?
I mean Axis solos, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking
Wrong A, wrong A.
one tap the
Yeah.
shanks. Got to love
Oh,
it.
for sure.
Yeah, you would just one tap everything in middle, then kill left
Yeah.
side, and then kill your captain, then go to middle. You know the pattern.
The standard, everyone can do it, right?
It's really not. I remember the first time I soloed, I was watching a Netflix show, and then I was talking to Jew, NoGood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jew
The
was
Jew
watching
himself.
my run, and he joined. He was in there talking to me, and a fucking spider fell on my lap midway through, while I was on a damage phase, and I was like, "Jew, there's a spider on my leg," and he's like, "Just ignore it. Don't make any sudden movements, and it won't bite you." And I'm like, "What?"
Destiny's
Maintain-
everything. Continue the DPS.
Don't move a muscle.
I think I was watching Arrow or some shit. I don't remember.
My soul was terrible.
Oh.
I was streaming it and I got a follow botted and everything at the time. I was like notifications and I just didn't turn it off and just
Yeah.
constant. And also somebody song requested somebody else's. I had a different like audio cues than that one going off too, and it was not a fun time.
Oh my god. I remember I first played with the first time I played with Swetsicle in Destiny 1. I made a clip out of when we had to do the first part of Vosix with 4 people instead of 6 because 2 people DC'd. And I posted it to like the share page on Xbox and it got like 1,200 views and I felt so accomplished with myself.
Wait, Blue. Was this
What?
during when they were playing with Evan and Clyde?
No. This was like
This is
the
D1,
when
D1.
Destiny. No, this was like D1. The
Okay.
D1, D2 hadn't come out yet.
I'm not gonna say
Okay,
names.
because I was when I played with them, I played with Evan, Clyde, and Sweat before on D1.
Right.
We did like a raid-a-thon, and it was when like I think when D2 was at its really dry stage, and they all returned to D1.
Which one?
Well, I think it was either Beyond Light or Shadow. I think it was
like a
Shadowkeep.
year ago.
I think
Oh, okay.
Shadowkeep or Beyond Light. It was something like that where they were all like returned to it, and then
Yeah.
they're like viewers come in here and come raid. I was like, hell yeah, man! I'm gonna go hop on
Nice.
Destiny 1 with them. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was so much fun.
it was fun. I had a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, they helped me through my first hard mode. Him and actually Indica and Sweat were doing hard mode Wrath helps.
Cursed Indica.
Dude,
yeah.
that guy.
Where is my
I
wife?
used to be so impressed with him for like the longest time, and man.
That guy's a snake,
But
dude.
anyway,
We
yeah,
would have to talk about
it was
Indica
it was a ton of fun just to be able to play with him. He used to be streaming for 30 viewers on Twitch or on YouTube to try and grow his channel back in 2016, and I'm super proud of where he's at now.
That was weird.
Yeah.
With speaking of Indica, it's like when I remember he was a PvP player, then he played with Route because he wanted in the Route, but since back in D1 ending ending late days, it was just mostly Redeem wasn't doing much of anything. It was mostly just Route and Euros, and he would hang out with Route, but then Euros would do some challenges. So like we'd borrow some people from Route, or Route would do some shit. Say borrow people from Euros, And
Yeah.
Indica wasn't he wasn't in either. He would just do shit with us, and he would just shit talk, each other. So he'd be playing with us, he would shit talk Route, and then he'd be playing with
Right.
Route, and he shit talks us. And I'm like, that's when I realized I was like, I don't want to hang out with this dude. He's just so
Yeah, it
Can't-
just seems like he's so high maintenance of a person.
That's why I like
kinda
Graphic
like my
Man.
ex, dude.
All the other clans I've been in Destiny 2 have just been super toxic, and they've made me toxic. And I used to be super toxic, like way over the top bullshit. But since joining Graphic, I've
That's what I
liked
love.
everyone, and
Pretty much
everyone's super
everybody-
wholesome and just
Heroes
not,
wasn't-
normal people, dude.
Euros wasn't toxic. The only reason I left it was because I felt like I was in it for too long. Felt like I didn't really know any of the people there anymore because it was all new people. I wasn't happy there because I didn't know the people there
Yeah.
anymore, so I just left.
Well, yeah, there's nothing. Yeah,
I
there's
miss
nothing
the
wrong
old
with
crew
that.
though, like the old fucking Year One crew in Destiny was like
boys.
Yeah, I love that.
Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, Euros was my dream clan to join.
It used, yeah,
I was one of the originals and founders, so like it's.
I used to really want to get in, and then I just realized that because they all are 7 or 8 hours ahead of me, it would be super hard to actually schedule time to play.
Mhm.
So I
That was-
figured might as well give up on that. Like I have a bunch of them on my friends list in D2, but it's just no longer a goal of mine to to get in, or I don't even try to get into clans anymore. I tried to do the obtained trials back when they first ran those, but I
Mm.
just
I heard a lot
figured
from that.
like
I remember that what made Euros back in the day was it was just us. So it was me and Scrub were like the only Americans there, and then it was just a bunch of
oh,
other
I forgot
Europeans. And
yeah.
then
Mm.
I was in a clan called Engraved
Mm.
before I was in
And then
Euros. And
Mercican
then
too, right?
yeah, well he wasn't
Yeah.
in there at the time. He joined like later in
Oh,
D2.
right.
But then I joined, so I like just left Engraved out of the blue to join Euros because I was like, they're speedrunning Wrath and I want to speedrun, but I'm terrible at speedrunning, so I don't speedrun. But then Engraved joined, and like it became more Americans than Europeans.
Oh,
This is funny,
we
yeah.
taken over.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
yeah, bro.
yeah. The Americans
colonizing,
took
colonizing
the Americans
Euros.
took it over like they had oil.
Honestly though,
There's only two now. We're only two.
Is it
I was-
just Twicemas? Well, no, Twicemas is Swedish, but he's their most recent addition. So I'm excited
Yeah.
for him.
Some neon.
I just love graphic because like I don't play challenges anymore, and I feel like the reason I got in graphic was because of Solar Argo shit. And I'm like, I like that now because I don't have to do anything. I'm in a clan with cool people, and I can kind of just fuck
Yeah.
off. And then when I do want to
Honestly-
come back, they'll just take me back. You know?
Honestly, I'll talk. Honestly, to be honest, so with Blue and Colt, like Soft and TB didn't really follow any much like speedrunning scenes or anything like that. But like with D1 and D2, I was always kind of just watching speedruns, wanting to get into stuff. And then when you were approached and was like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to join the clan," I was like, "Huh, that's fucking cool. Let's get Cole in."
Yeah.
Because it's just like it's someone I've known of in the
Oh, they
community
asked
for a
you
long
about
ass
me to get
time.
in?
Well, no, it was when you asked to join.
Oh
It
yeah, I
was-
remember that. It was so
Yeah.
weird. I left Euros. No, I left Just Reddit, and then a week later, because I left Just Reddit because it was all I.
Oh,
no one
Just
speak.
Reddit.
No one speak French. I mean, no one speak American. I felt kind of weird.
Speak
American.
American.
Exactly.
English, fuck. But I messaged
Spoke
B and I was
English.
like, he offered me a long time ago to join, and I said no because I was in another clan, and then I left,
Yeah.
and I was like, is that offer still open? And he didn't say no, but didn't say yes, and like a day later, he messaged me a response.
Yeah, it's because it's like I've with you and Blue, it's like I've known of you guys in the community for a long time and known that
Wait,
you're good players,
Yeah.
like really good players.
I've been doing shit since D1. And it's
Yeah.
just
For
like,
real?
I don't do shit anymore.
Yeah.
People know me as a
I'm
Pokemon
known?
now.
Yeah, no, I used to
Not wrong
like,
though.
yeah, I'm kind of just like a viewer of runs and then doing stuff like semi-casually and trying to do shit as well. It was a cool moment to see people go, oh yeah, it's like a clan that we'd want to be in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
definitely.
I don't want to say it, but the low key, I'm happy I'm in it now. But one of the biggest reasons I wanted to join was because I saw Voice of Repeat was in it, and I was
Yeah,
like,
oh, that's
my dream came true when
I still
played
haven't gamed
Minecraft.
with them, bro.
I played Minecraft with him for like a week nonstop, and it was like the dream of my life. I was like,
Do you know how that?
Yeah.
Do you know how that happened?
how? I'm actually
Um,
curious about that.
Was
Was
that
it-
kind of the same thing as like, when Mao was playing with Soldier Boy?
No,
Except he didn't actually join the clan.
no. It was Voice of Repeat asked on Twitter, what Destiny 2 clans can I join? And then Chevy replied to him saying, Graphic. And then Pete joined Graphic, and that's it.
No
Why
way.
did
Wait,
Chevy
yeah.
say graphic?
Why
Chevy's
why didn't Chevy
Is it
say
jokingly, or-
was Chevy
No,
saying like
it's because
was
Chevy and TB are like friends. So
Oh.
Chevy's
Chevy,
awesome, bro. I
yeah.
love
So
him.
Chevy
Pete's
was like,
awesome
oh
too.
yeah,
I,
yeah, you
Yeah.
can give Graphic a join. It's like I know a bunch of people played with Pete, but he's
Wow.
I know I've not played too much with him because of he's always on like late EST times.
Yeah, and he's also under
Family
light
man.
for a lot of things.
I was in a stream and I was like siblings by chance and lovers by choice, me and my sister, and he said it in his epic voice. And he goes, "You're funny, Colt," and I was like, "Oh, he called me funny. Fuck."
Do you know what I like to do sometimes is with when I meet for like people in real life who like know of internet culture and know of like voice over Pete from Fortnite
Oh,
moves
I do
back in
that
the
shit
day.
too.
And I go,
Yeah,
yeah, he's in my
the-
Destiny. He's in my Destiny 2 clan, and they'll go, what? What the fuck fuck are you on about? No way.
Yeah, I haven't had that conversation with anybody yet, but I can't wait.
Same.
It's funny.
Gonna be like,
I've done it once, and that was to impress the dude. But then he's like, "What Destiny clan are you?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I don't want to actually know what clan I'm in now."
oh yeah,
It's like no
When I-
place of work in Destiny.
Yeah.
the
When I
Um,
first got my first record, which was the 2552 Kingsfall with Route, back whenever Euros and Route were going back and forth, like in 2018.
The good old days.
Yes.
the golden.
That was
days.
really toxic. I remember that. That competition was bad, dude. Like, I remember
Yeah.
this is, keep in mind, this was like a long time ago. I was like 15, 16. Cruelty was a young adult and shit. And so was mostly other people. It was just very toxic shit talking. Like, I
Well,
remember
everybody-
being called like racial slurs, shit. Saying racial slurs. I was 15. Like, no one was.
Yeah, to be fair, we all grew up in that era on like
Yeah. I
360
refuse to
chat
say like,
shit.
anything like that now. I don't even find
Yeah,
it
of
funny. But
course.
like,
Times
back
change.
then, that was funny and that was accepted.
But yeah, I actually flexed King's record
I
game
did.
employee whenever. Well, I didn't flex it. I mentioned it because the people in front of me were talking about Destiny. I was like, yeah, actually, I have Kingsfall record. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool.
I've done that. I've had people do that a couple times with stuff, but like on D1 speeds, a bunch of people who are in graphic now in D1, we were just like one night do a raidathon, and we were like, cool, we'll just do all the raids back to back. Actually, like focus and chill and just do it. And then we ended up getting like semi decent times for all of the raids, and somehow we're still like top 200 for raids on the raid report. It's just a funny thing that we were just chilled and did raids, and that happened.
I remember this was back when Euros and Route was doing all the toxic competition back in the day, and it was like, I think it was Solid, Jew and I, Whammy, and then some other guy, and then we picked up this one raid Sherpa guy. We were gonna have him Sherpa us to the raid. Yeah, but it's all of us, so it's really stacked. So he had him explain the encounter to us, and of course we one phase Vosic,
Yeah.
easily. And he goes, "What?" And then we got the Axis. I'm like, "Can we one phase Axis?" He goes, "No, that's not possible."
Oh no!
It's just,
Yeah.
Little did he know.
We killed him almost like 2 teleports. It was like,
and you just like the virtual cracking knuckles noise, like
yeah, he was like,
I
"How? I
will-
don't think that's possible."
Little did he know they pulled out the thermite grenades and he
No,
disappeared.
that was before thermite grenades. That was
Yeah.
Oh
Thermite
yeah.
meta?
that was that long ago.
oh man,
Thermite grenades on Axis are so fucking funny.
dude, could you imagine 1-2 punching with like Worm Gods or Liar's Handshake?
Oh, fuck, dude, that'd be so
Oh my
broken.
god.
I feel, oh my god, I worry about them introducing health gates at some point.
Yeah.
The second they do that, it's not fun at all.
It's over for
All right, so
anything.
should we wrap up now, or how we? 'cause
I
feel
think-
like we've been
well-
talking
Yeah,
for
we
almost
could
3
we could
hours.
talk for 2 more
been-
hours. You know,
But
It's been,
Yeah.
I
Is it
mean,
good for
talk
the
for
recording?
ages.
Because I feel like no one's gonna watch for 5 hours.
I mean, we
could
could
save
talk
stuff
here
for next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
I have
could
an
talk
idea.
about
I'm
for a
gonna
while.
try and get. I'm not gonna say names. I've told you who I want to get on next episode, but
yeah.
we'll see if he's down.
It was
he did
fun,
say he
though.
was interested in it, so.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun.
All right,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
wrapping it up.
You know what? I think it's.
My bad.
I was just gonna say real quick. I think it's great that we're like debating whether to stop or not. You know,
Well, we have to.
We were
set,
like,
a
we're gonna do
s-
this for 30 minutes, and then it turns into like almost
2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Which best case scenario, but
Yeah.
we don't want it to
NoGood.
drag on.
You're the guest, or anything else you want to plug in, like your socials, YouTube channel.
Nothing much. I stream on Twitch. Up to no good. No spaces, all case. Usually I'm doing King's nowadays.
And I'm sorry about the sus comments I leave in your chat every time I go in there.
Yeah, just random
I
ass
confuse
comments.
the people in your fucking speed team every time I go in there.
I'm just sitting there laughing, and they're
Yeah,
like,
they're
"What
who
the?
the hell is this guy?
What the?"
Who's this cold guy?
All right, so
Yeah.
shit. Cool.
Do you want to link social or say socials for anybody else? I don't really have any, but yeah.
I'll link anyone who has a social linked in the description of the video
I think-
too. But What you saying?
Twitter.com/notzemper with an X instead of a with an E. You didn't like my tweet.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter, bro. I
Twitch.tv
specifically
Poker
left
Manager?
it since emblem stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, it's all
All
good.
right. Thank you for listening to the Destiny Underground podcast with Mikasa as the photo for this entire time.
The thumbnail.
It's only been Mikasa, like mommy Mikasa. But all right, cool. Thank you
All
for
right, calm
watching.
down.
Stop and
All right.
save.